Hello everyone and welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today we're going to be playing one of the other new decks. I don't know if we could really call it a new deck. I guess it is. It has its own skill, that being the RoaRomin Advance. The whole idea is that we slap a bunch of Psychics and Fiends together and we have the ability to keep sticking stuff back into our deck. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but we definitely want to try it out at the very least. We can't just say it's bad, right? We have to test it and we'll find out. Yeah, we are all rushed all up in here, Logic Jones. Welcome on in. And we also have Drags in, Krusty Camper, and I Can't Kill Anyone, who is on the 3 stream streak. And I am exactly the same as you. I can't kill anyone. I can never, for the life of me, think about what I'm going to write in any of these streak things. Actually, I lost my streak to Grand Harry yesterday because he obviously did a stream at 1 AM for me, and I couldn't justify staying up to 1 AM to continue my stream streak, so there's that. But this is a bit weird. I don't really know what we're doing with this deck. The skill is a bit all over the place, right? And the reason is that we can only use Fiend or Psychic. We can return 2 monsters that aren't level 4s, so we want to have as many not level 4s as possible, I guess. So this is live more often. Then we choose, I mean, they need to be different types. We need to have a decent variety of Psychics and Fiends. We can't just go all in on one. Then we choose a light attribute, so no Dark Fiends, which notably means Buyer doesn't work, or Psychic monster on our field. And then that can be used as 2 tributes to get out Heavy Metal or Shining Superstar. Now, Shining Superstar is a bit weird because we don't really want to be running a ton of this card, and unless we're playing something like Esperard, we don't really want to get our life points low, so it's just kind of in here as an aggro tool, but it's not as good without a Dragius sat next to it, because obviously we don't get to double up on those boosts. And when it comes to Heavy Metal, we only really want to be tributing this out easier if we can get the effect off, which means we need to be tributing higher level monsters. Now, Buyer would be the obvious pick, but he's dark, so we cannot use him with the skill. We can use Gargoyle, that's why we're maxing out on this. And we can use Summon Skull and Psystage Bouncer. So we're going to try these out. Obviously, I'm really not a big fan of Psystage Bouncer. This card is just generally really bad. But with our skill, we can use it as double tribute to get out Heavy Metal, which basically means we can normal summon tribute over for Bouncer and then go straight into Heavy Metal and get Heavy Metal's effect off. Whereas usually it would be normal summon, tribute, summon an extra monster and then summon the Heavy Metal. So we are technically getting Heavy Metal's effect off for 1 less card. So it does kind of work out. And then Spell and Traps, again, are all over the place. Like, I'm not really sure what I'd want to put in here. Like, we could try something like Ghost Cyclone for a bit of back row hate, but I don't know how this is going to play. Like, this might end up just being Brick City, so we're not really sure what's going to happen with this. We're just going to kind of fire in and see what happens. If it ends up being really bad, we'll, like, start tweaking it. But I don't really know how I feel about this. I think we're just going to jump straight in. Hello, Kazumi. Welcome on in. But with any luck, we will get to play a couple of good games with this deck, and we'll be able to see what it's capable of. I've had a couple of people tell me that this is like the best way to play Psychics right now, so we're going to put that to the test. Now, is this the best build of the deck? I don't think so. I had a quick look around to see what other people are doing, and I can't find anything. Just nobody's playing this deck whatsoever. So, Roman pick is another weird one, because we don't actually have that many Psychics in the deck, so I'm not expecting its effect to ever actually be live. It's just going to be mostly here for milling. So we're probably against here either the Thunders or the Harpies. Okay, it's Thunders. Turn 1 Trigger Drago. It means he's probably got another tribute monster in hand. The issue is we can't actually beat Turn 1 Trigger Drago. His hand, unfortunately, does literally nothing. So, I think the play is going to be just set a bunch of cards and pass. I think we'll just dump Roman pick here, right? I don't think it's worth having, and we can just shuffle it back into our deck with our skill when we do draw one of our boss monsters. Okay, well, because we have 2 cards in our hand, he cannot pierce over us, so we are A-okay from that respect. Double Trigger Drago, again, doesn't do anything as long as we have cards in our hand. We are going to lose all of our monsters, but that's to be expected. That's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. Unfortunately, we don't have any fiends in our graveyard, and they have to be non-level 4s, so our skill is still not even live. Okay, this gives us options, but those back row are probably going to stifle us a little bit. But we can... Are we going to have to shuffle Goat in? Either we shuffle Goat in for the skill, which kind of feels bad, or we just don't use the skill. We could just not use the skill. Cost us an extra card. We do just summon this out, right? Because we can get out the Side Stage Bouncer, but it doesn't do anything. So it's like, is it even worth summoning? I think we always get out Buyer. We'll always activate Buyer here, and we'll just chuck the Roman pick back in. Then, again, Palace Gargoyle isn't going to do anything for us. So I think we will just set it. We're going to Tribute 2. Summon out the big guy. Activate his effect. Unfortunately, we have to pop this. We then just set, go to battle, and swing. And then if he has the specifically widespread, yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. It kind of sucks, but it's what it is. Glad Beast getting spicy. Ooh. I haven't actually looked into the new Gladiator Beast stuff. Like, I was too enamored with the Ogdoatic stuff. That's definitely what appeals to me most out of the new box. Now, unfortunately, we are going to lose 5,000 health here. There's nothing we can really do about that. If he hadn't had the widespread, we'd be in, like, an okay position, but still not a great one. Okay, we have options now, at least. This is a little bit awkward, no matter how you spin it. Still only have the one Lobby in the grave. So I guess we're going to have to dump either Karibot or the other one back in either way. I guess we'll set. Tribute over this to summon. We can then go ahead and activate the skill. We'll throw this and this back in. Then we can make Side Stage Bounce to be used as 2 tributes. Then we just tribute over. Activate the effect. We'll pop. We'll normal, because we might as well just get an extra mill. Does not matter. We're immediately going to tribute over that. The issue with this play, I mean, this is basically the only play we have, but all he needs now is any high level and we just lose the game. But, like, we don't have anything else to do. So it's this and then hope he just doesn't have another high level. Well, TSA will also end us. So that'll put us down to 900 attack. So any normal summon and we're dead. Let's see what our opponent has for us. There's no way he doesn't have a normal right. There's literally no way. Okay, we're just spinning plates for the sake of it now. Alright, well, first impression. Deck didn't feel great, but at the same time, if our opponent didn't have an early widespread, we probably would have been okay. I don't think we still would have won the game, but nothing like crazy so far. Alright, we're against probably going to be Tuning Invasion. So this is going to be an uphill struggle at the very least. So here's a question then. Has anyone in chat actually bought from the new box and tested out any of the new decks yet? Or is everyone still just in theory mode? Ooh, okay. We're against Death Doom Requiem. Hey Tomato, we're getting Dennis in April. I only opened 10 packs. Yeah, for speed. Speed is kind of the talk of the town, right? We might not be buying into the new speed box yet, but I'm still really big into the speed meta and seeing how that's doing. Do I bother trying to attack over this? I don't know if it seems like a good idea or not. I mean, I guess we can. We'll set. We'll just summon out Gargoyle. Attack. I think just letting him keep that for free seems like a bad idea. But yes, hello Max, welcome on in. And Faustra. Test Panther with Rabbit and Skill takes 2 additional summons, I believe, and lets you do a lot of combos, plus Test can set up 2 negates on the enemy turn. Yeah, the new Link monster that they've got seems so good. So far I got Surge de Fleur, the only UR I pulled from the box. Okay, I mean, for only 10 packs, getting a UR is still pretty tasty, right? Yeah, I didn't get paid yet, but I have been testing. I'm digging this board. One setup I can make with GB. GB, I think, is one of the decks that went a little bit under the radar, right? People saw Sky Striker, and I think their brains turned to mush of like, oh, Skyscraper's going to be... Oh, Sky Striker is going to be top tier. It's going to be completely unbeatable. Ray is my waifu. But I think some of the other decks in there do look very interesting. I also think... I don't think it's going to be good, right? I'm going to preface it with this. But nobody, and I mean literally nobody, is talking about the Reptilian cards. Now, I know they're a bit of a meme, but there might be something there, at least like as a rogue strategy. I think there could be. Sky Striker seems pretty good. I mean, I think Sky Striker is always going to stand out no matter what. I think it would be hard for Sky Striker to be bad, right? Even if you do limit all their stuff, they've only got like the 1 Widow Anchor. It's still going to be a decent control strategy, right? And to be honest, it's a really good generic extender. Other than that, my main interest on building right now is Evil Eye and the Cyburst Fireball deck. Ooh, I'm not a big fan of Fireball personally, but I do quite like the Cyburst. I'd be soon opening some speed pack. Are you going for anything specifically, Dragson? Evil Eye got their Link 3 in the Mission Circuit event as a free drop, and the other Evil Eye Link is in the main box, which is easy to get since it's our rarity. Nice. That's what all you can really ask for, right? Is that there's a nice like low. Oh, okay, we're going all in with the Royal Rebels command here. Nice low rarity deck to play. Now rep is going to be tier 3 or rogue. It just perma black hole once every turn. The quick play spell for the level 10 rep just means your summon black hole effect, resummon black hole effect, resummon black. So you're saying it's like Royal Rebels then, really? Ooh. That's not very good. I mean, we could use Roman pick, but it's pure gambling. So I think all we do is just go on the defensive and wait. Hello, Matt. Hope you're having a good day. Hello, Loz. Welcome on in. Hope you're having a great time as well, and I hope your studies are going well. What deck are you playing? So, obviously, right now we're playing in this on stream. The RoaRomin Psychic Fiend deck was just testing it out. I don't think it's going to be very good, but we have to test it, right? We can't just say it's bad and never touch it. We got to give it a few games, right? In speed, if I pull from the new box, it's definitely going to be Ogdoatic. But I haven't fully decided if I want to commit to that yet because I am still building a couple of other decks on my other account. And then, obviously, my main speed decks at the moment are Fluffle, or Fluffle Locust, and then Constella. So, like, they're both kind of rogue, right? I mean, Fluffles is kind of a meme. And Constella has just kind of dropped out of tier 3. So, not really playing anything, like, crazy good at the moment. Only wants Cyber. So yeah, Evil Eye is missing their really insane spell card and spell trap counter. Well, I doubt we get the negate now, but I think they will give us the Evil Eye spell as a UR in the future box. I mean, we can only hope, right? Okay, these cards... I mean, he can't kill us unless he draws something very specific, so we're kind of chilling right now, I guess. I think we just hold on to Gargoyle, because Gargoyle will make everything live when we do draw a boss monster. It's legit perma-black hole... once on your turn or once on enemy turn, and then you resummon to continue to do it. Monster Reborn is going to be cool to use. I mean, cool. I am exhausted. Pulled an all-nighter to get something in today for 3 PM. I mean, I do not miss that. Like, my days of being a student were, woo, lots of all-nighters. Is it even worth using widespread to pop something here? I don't actually think it is. I think we're better off holding it until, like, our board gets wiped when we make an aggressive play and then he gets us on the crackback. The issue is we've got to fight through all of his back row, which is really not going to be easy. And especially if we draw a whole bunch of nothing. I mean, we could pop one of the bosses, but then he's just going to slap down another one is the issue. Well, I almost think it's better off just to attack over. But the issue is we've also got to fight through his back row. Oh, this is not looking good for us. I mean, we can recycle some cards back into our deck, but I don't really think we even want to right now. So, what are we going to do? We just summon these two and just sack them off. It's basically... Well, we have an extra body if we don't do that. Which means we have to do it this way, but then we have to discard a spell from hand. But this way we get to keep an extra body, which I think is worth. Right, so now we'll put back these two. I wish you could just choose both there, but I suppose I understand why, because that's two different types. So we'll tribute over this, summon out the big boy, activate its effect, pop the little boy, set this, go to battle, and then we are going to run into a widespread and be very upset. But we still can stop him from killing us on the crackback. And we've gotten rid of the widespread, which is... What protected me? Does the skill protect me? I'm very confused. What just happened? He used widespread... And my guy didn't die. Why didn't he die? What? Am I stupid? What happened? Why didn't... I can't tell if I'm being really dumb. Oh, his field spell. He has the field spell down, and it protects all light attributes. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's so very funny. I didn't even notice he put down that field spell. But Tomato, what are your thoughts on Dennis coming to the game? What do you think of Performer House? I really like Performer House. I really like Dennis. But Dennis's true boss monster is an Ancient Gear. And I will fight that to the death. We need more Ancient Gear cards in Duel Links. At least hope Fluffles get support next box since Dennis's release. So probably going to be an Art V mini box. I mean, fingers crossed. You mean everyone knows how much I love the old Psychics. Maybe coping for DDD support. I mean, we need more DDD support. I know DDD has kind of always been like this weird, like, rogue deck. But really, really strong. I would really love to see more of it. I just struggle to start work early. This is my last year. There is a lot of overlap, so I'm more coffee than man these days. I mean, as it should be. I'm also making my capstone. I hate my life. Oof. She doesn't have a maximum monster, so I say no. Rush, the more popular game mode nowadays? Oh, certainly not. Certainly not. Definitely speed is 100% more popular. Well, we have to use this to not die, right? So we might as well pop this one. Oh, I'm an idiot. I literally... That's me getting distracted with chat, but that's fine. We'll just take this one. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I have no way to pop this. So holding that actually doesn't do anything, right? I might as well use it and get rid of it just to free up the back row. Or I suppose I could use it as a bluff. So it's kind of exactly the same anyway. Right, Roman pick is about. We've destroyed a lot of our psychic monsters though, so I'm not expecting to get much off of this Roman pick, but I suppose we will have a look. Go, Roman pick! Well, we got a lot of stuff in the graveyard. Then we will tribute over. There's no, like, good way to do this where I end up with extra stuff, is there? No, there's not. If Roman pick's effect had worked, I could have, but I can't now. Now we'll activate the effect of RoaRomin Advance, and we will put back you and you probably. Either way, we always want to keep recycling our boss. Make this treated as 2 tributes. tribute over this to summon out this. Activate the effect. Pop that, as it's the only thing we are allowed to pop. We'll use tribute to the doomed. Discard and pop another one. Set. Go to battle. Swing. Now the problem is, again, we do just kind of die to anything, right? If he summons a heavy metal, we're dead. If he summons a doom metal, we're dead. How many's he got on graveyard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He still has 2 heavy metal left in deck, so that's probably the most likely, is it would just die to heavy metal. Alright, let's catch back up with chat again. We're getting Trapeze Magician, which is going to be his true ace. Otherwise, you finally get Ancient Gear Fusion and Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. That's what I want. Give me Ancient Gear Giant. I've always been a sucker for Ancient Gears ever since GX and Crowler, right? I absolutely am enamored with them, and I would love to play like a full-on Ancient Gear deck in Duel Links and have it be, you know, competitively viable. I'm hoping we get Raid Raptor support in the next box, like maybe the level 3 is and more of the rank ups. Yeah, Raid Raptors is a cool one. I didn't like Raid Raptors at the time of watching Arc V, but since like having finished Arc V, I now really, really do like them. I've been playing Towers. It's super sacky, but it can be fun when it works. Oh well, that's just... Oh, it's not lethal yet. We'll see what he does. I mean, yeah, Towers is the original Towers, right? That's why Towers are all named after Towers. So, outside of, like, you know, non-targeting removal and stuff, it's still going to be very sticky. We need more Phantom Knights and Raid Raptor support for sure. But I think they will save Raid Raptor and Phantom Knights when we get Lyrilusk and add to the game. When we get Ruri announced. I mean, that would make sense, right? Well, there goes the rest of my life. I don't know what to change with this build. I feel like we need more boss monsters. That seems to be what we're failing to get, is more bosses. Mind you, we've only played 2 games. But it's already feeling a little bit on the brickier side. But it's like bricked in the sense of not finding any boss monsters. This is where it gets funky though, because I don't... Like, I like having these in, because these are double tributes for heavy metal. But I think they're clouding our judgment a little bit and making us think that they're going to be more useful than they actually are. So, we're going to try putting in a couple more bosses. Let's put in a couple of Esperards, see how that feels, because we do need just more non-level 4, and we need more Psychics ideally. I guess we'll put this in as well, since we're taking out Summon Skull. But maybe Summon Skull's still just worth having in. If it is, we'd have to take out an Esperard. Alright, we'll try this. Because Summon Skull still does help with what the deck's trying to do, and it is a 2500 beta, which Esperard most of the time is just going to be a 2500 beta. Then we'll probably put in a level 1 Fiend, just to kind of fill that up and try and have our trap card online more of the time. And we'll try this out. We'll see if this feels any better. In the recent TCG box, it got the second ever, in the recent TCG box, it got the second ever rank 13. Rank 13. I'm trying to just imagine how many stars that is on a card. Non-targeting removal doesn't work with Towers. Oh, does it not? I haven't read Towers like since it came out, because people just haven't really used it. Let's have a look. Does it actually say like unaffected by the card effects then? Or is it can't be destroyed? Or is it unaffected by spell trap effects and by activated effects from any monster whose original level rank is lower than this card's current level? Unaffected by activated effects. Okay, so that means... What does that mean for something like Dingirsu? Because Ding is triggered effect, right? It's not activated, which means Ding would still get rid of it. I think. Okay, this is a bit of an awkward hand. Let's just go for this. Set back row and pass. Sorry, my messages will repeat sometimes. Don't worry. Do not worry about it at all, King John. Do not worry about it. I really hope Yuri is next after this. Max, you've been crying out for Yuri for, I think, like 6 months at this point, right? And I fully understand. I would love to have Yuri, right? Predator plants are so cool. There are so much cool things you can do, both at a, like, limited level with Predator plants. Just having, like, what's it, Anomalocaris? I can't remember what their, like, little fusion's called. But, like, there's so much interesting stuff you can do with it, as well as making it possibly a top-tier strategy as well. And especially with skills, obviously, we can do anything we want, right? But that's fine. We'll take this one. Do we stop this attack? I think we just take this one. I think that's fine. Ding activates on summon. So it is an activated effect. I would have thought it wouldn't be, because I would have thought an activated effect would have been something that you had. I suppose you still declare whether you do it. It's a weird one. Yu-Gi-Oh! Rules are weird. I mean, do we just try and dig? This is going to be awkward no matter how we do it. We'll summon out Cobalt Kobold. We will activate its effect. Because if we can just find a boss monster, we're going to be in an okay spot here. But we cannot find a boss monster to save our lives right now. Which is a shame. So I guess we're just going to go on the defensive and pass the turn. We've just literally increased the number of boss monsters, and we are still bricking on non-boss monsters. But I feel like if we put any more in, we're going to just find nothing but boss monsters and just lose the game because of it. So, like, it's put us in, like, a really weird spot. Sure, we'll put Babysitter Goat back in. The best way to play Psychics is playing Alakazam. I mean, there is some truth to that, let's be honest. Ding activates a summon. I hope we get Camula soon. It's been days since we had zombie support. Ah, Camula. Where are my boss monsters? Like, for realsies, where are the boss monsters at, yo? We've gone 12 cards deep. We have 6 of them in the deck. Like, statistically, we should see one every 5 cards, give or take. And yet, 12 cards deep, none. But yeah, only 2 rank 13 monsters exist, one of which is a chaos number. The other one was introduced very recently. I think it's like Rising Revolution Falcon. I think the name of the Raid Raptor rank 13. That sounds right. That is that's an extremely Raid Raptor-y name. Oh, we're against Resonance. Okay. I'll keep begging for him since if you want to know, he's literally the only character I want left in the game. Anybody else who ever comes to the game, I don't pay too much attention to it. I mean, that's fair enough. I think we've got too many zombie support now. It should take... If you look at the tier list right now, like on DLM, there are like 3 zombie decks like that are currently tiered. And that is just so funny to me. This is an awkward one. I mean, we can do everything we need, so this kind of works out alright. We activate Shadow Fire. And we'll pop back... I think it's probably just Palace Gargoyle. Boost his level up. Krusty Camper gifted 5 subs. What are you doing, Krusty? But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Krusty, for all of your generosity. We all know you the real MVP. But I do need to finish off this turn before I...
Krusty Camper gifted 5 subscriptions.
I wasn't paying attention again. Ah! Right, I need to put some cards back in the deck quick. You. And you. Let me commit. You uses 2 tributes. Tribute over this. Oh, we can't use it. I was, again, not paying attention. That's fine. We'll just swing with this. In my brain, I was like, oh, I can just do all of this. Ah, too much to think about. Right, we're supposed to get Atticus for GX. GX been forgotten about. Shuffle better. Just shuffle better. Also, my funny thought, Dennis looks like anime sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. Yeah, I thought that when I first saw him. Look at that, all those subs. I think only one of them is actually here right now, so Alright, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure we're dead. Leaving this in attack mode has really set us back. In my mind, I was like, I can just tribute out Esperard for 2 tributes, but that is not how this skill works. I think I'd really enjoy Lyrilusks. Lyrilusks, like, they're not my cup of tea, but I can definitely understand why people would be into them. Ironically, we would have lived if we didn't leave Speedy Performer in attack mode. Oh wait, we still do live? How are we still alive? Oh, Esperard is now live. How do we navigate this, though? If I pop 2, pop, swing over that, get him for 25. I think I have lethal, right? I'm not sure how we've managed to scrape lethal, but I think we have it. So we'll summon. Activate the effect. Boost up fire. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon out the Esperard. Activate the Esperard. Pop 1. Pop 2. And then that's 25 plus 13. So that's just lethal without even using my spell card. Alright, well, somehow we got a win. Could not tell you how, but we've done it. And there goes the ad. So we're getting 3 entertainers now, and because everything you completely dodged talking about rank 13. Alright, should we go and take a look then? Especially because I don't think this deck is going anywhere interesting. Alright, let's go take a quick ganderino. So if we go to Chrome. So the first thing I just wanted to take a look at quick was this tier list again. Because we were talking earlier about, as if we can reveal it, there we go, is that like there are literally zombie. So there are 3 zombie decks just in this tier list, which is very funny. Second up, if we go and take a look at gods. There we go. These are our 13. So we have number IC 1000 Numeronia. And we have Raid Raptor Rising Rebellion Falcon. So this is the new card that obviously John was talking about. Unaffected by other cards' effects. If this card is XE summoned, you can destroy as many of your opponent's controls as possible. Then if this card has 3 or more Raid Raptor XYZ monsters with different names as material, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the combined original attack of destroyed monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 3 materials from this card, then target 1 Raid Raptor XYZ monster in your graveyard. Gain that effect. Or gain that monster's effects. This is pretty cool. I mean, just look at just how many stars are on this card. That is just amusing, in my opinion. And then Yuga being the Happy Entertainer, Silvio the Giga Chad Entertainer, and then you have Dennis, who is basically an entertainer, but also fits like a circus aesthetic. And there was one episode where he did some kind of magic thing, so maybe around that kind of thing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Dennis is like the only character who has gloves on. Dennis is the only character who has gloves on. I mean, potentially. I don't think I've paid attention to that personally, but yeah. What else do we have here? Actually, no, but he has like very circus-like outfit. I faced Sky Strikers last night and found the towers hard counters them. It's hilarious. That's pretty cool. I think the rank up magic is unique. It's kind of like synchro. Okay. I love Raid Raptors. I mean, Raid Raptors I think are really cool. I just love all of the Arc V decks, right? I love Super Heavy Samurai. I think Performer Pals are cool. Performages are cool. I think the only cards I can actually think of that we haven't got yet is the Silvio cards. Because obviously Silvio keeps swapping his deck a bunch, right? Silvio Yu-Gi-Oh! Because he plays like 3 different decks. And the first deck he plays is like a really weird deck. It's like, I mean, do we even have all of his decks in there? I assume we must do, right? We'll go down to his decks. His darts deck, yeah. The weird dart deck. This is what I want. When are we getting Power Dart Striker? Or have we already got these cards? So I don't remember these cards being released. I'm pretty sure we don't, right? Because otherwise it'd have a set released here. But, like, at least at the very least, bring these to Duel Links. That's what I want to see. New support makes them way better. Lunalight for me, hee. Well, to be honest, sadly, Ogdoadic just dies to Mayakashi. I think the problem is a lot of decks are just going to die to, like, stuff from the tier list, unfortunately. That's just always going to be a thing. I honestly think Monarch fits his theme the best, but at the same time, Abyss Actors fits his vibe as well. Abyss Actors is also just a really cool archetype, right? I think just in general, Abyss Actors is just really fun. And I think that's, like, a big takeaway, right? Is that Release Thought's fun. Alright, let's jump into another game with this. We should see the rank up. I mean, I don't even know what it's called. I'd literally have to just, like, faff about till I find it. I could obviously just type up rank up magic, but then that's going to bring up a whole bunch of different stuff. I find it a little weird how Performer Pal and Performage are almost similar name-wise. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because he's meant to be Yuga's dad's other pupil. So it makes sense he would have a similar deck, but not quite the same. Not that it's weird, but it makes you confused when you read the name of the archetype. It also means that if they have any cards that affect Perform cards, they can release cards that affect both, which is nice, right? They can't out the level 11 Synchro just like Earth Machines, and both decks run out of steam after using their board wipes. I mean, I haven't really looked much into the Ogdoatic skill. Well, I don't really... Like, I haven't really messed around with it as of yet, but... Also, I'm mistaken, Performage still has a few more cards that have yet to be printed that were exclusive to the anime. I feel like most archetypes at this point just have some anime exclusive cards that have yet to come out. The benefit is that a lot of those anime exclusive cards are either so overpowered they should never come out anyway, or they're so bad because they're so anime specific to like this exact board state that you wouldn't want to play them anyway. Okay, we've got some Shitatsus going on. Got the name Rise Rank Up Magic Raid Raptors Force. Okay, we'll have a look at it after this game. God, some of these cards just have such weird names. Okay, we can have a look at that after this. Did my man just summon out Defense Mode Yami Ruler Pass? Can I kill him? Pop that. Tribute 2 for like this. That'd be 25. Because like, unfortunately, I cannot tribute, so I can't get the bonus attack off of it. I'd have to pop that. Tribute 2, get this out, summon this. That'd be 12 plus 12 plus 25, which is nowhere near lethal. I don't also know if it's worth summoning out Prima, because it won't be able to boost anything. This is awkward, but I think we do push while we can. So I think we will drop this down. We'll pop that. I think we'll distribute these two to summon. Normal. Flip this up. Then we'll just get in for a chonk. Not lethal, but it is a chonk. Then we'll just pass. Maybe we will see more Performage cards printed when Dennis gets close to being released. Also, Tomato, I actually had a dream. Okay, you've piqued my interest now. I had a dream about new printed Lunalight cards, and for a good reason. I am just hoping one day we get level 12 Lunalight Fusion monster that requires more like 5 materials along with Leo Dancer. Okay. I don't know when we get that, I suppose it would just be like some sort of future set that's just giving us some legacy support, which is quite a common thing these days. Anteater-eating ant, best name in Yu-Gi-Oh! Anteater-eating ant, I actually have very fond memories for, because I played in the pre-release for when Anteater-eating ant came out and played it alongside cards like Doomdozer, and ended up winning that pre-release. So I had very fond memories of that card. Even a Lunalight Link monster. Lunalights are just my favorite Arc V deck. It will be future set, I can imagine. I, personally, am not the biggest fan of just giving everyone a Link monster. I think it made sense when we had Master Rule 4. I think it was Master Rule 4 was the Link one. But when we evolved past that, I think now I don't like it when just everyone gets a Link monster as like legacy support. I kind of much prefer, if you're a fusion deck, you just keep with your fusion aesthetic, right? It's like one of the big things that really appealed to me about Arc V in the first place was that everyone had their own summoning mechanic, right? You had the people from the fusion dimension who had their fusion decks. You had people from the synchro dimension who had their synchro decks. And then any character that had more than one summoning condition, it was considered a big deal, right? You were a big brain Giga Chad because you had mastered all of them, which is why the DDD and the Perform Mages, right, felt so interesting, because we had multiple summoning methods, which felt really, really cool. I don't know. It just, whenever you just like slap all the different summoning methods in any deck, it just makes it feel a little bit lackluster, in my opinion, right? One of my favorite deck until like a year ago, it was Gimmick Puppet. Okay, so Gimmick Puppet is Dr. Dinosaurio's like big deck, right? If I recall correctly. But now I've fallen in love with Morphtronic. Of all the decks, Morphtronic. So Morphtronic is a weird one, because I'm always going to think of it as Morphtronic on release, which was like a OTK, like Radion, Boomboxen, Borden, direct attack for like a ton of damage OTK deck. I could not tell you what it looks like these days. I remember they had a Morphtronic card came out, which let you like infinitely loop and ended up being really overpowered as well. So whenever I think of Morphtronic, I always think of like these kind of degenerate strategies. But like I said, I don't know what a modern Morphtronic deck looks like. I think honestly you have a point. I feel like the archetype specific Link monster gets generic, like take Verte Anaconda for example. So it's not only for Predator Plants, but for any fusion deck, especially heroes even. If they made like the Link monster only exclusive to the archetype, and that's why I'm hoping Lunalight Link monster is exclusive to Lunalight, but like having a restriction to being locked to dark monsters. I think dark monsters itself is not much of a restriction. I would have it so you can only Link summon it using Lunalight monsters. And if you want it to be a really big payoff, make it so it can only be made by linking off a Lunalight fusion monster. That would be like, it depends what you want it for, right? Do you want it to be like a finisher or like a bit of engine? That's where it gets weird. But I personally will always just prefer Lunalights just having fusion. I don't really want like Lunalight Links, Lunalight Xyz, any of that, right? If you're wondering why I like it so much, you've heard of Transformers bots. It's like, are we talking about like the mini bots from Transformers? It's pretty much like the exact same thing. They're in a mall. They normal things that transform into tiny robots. Also, if you're wondering, we don't use our basement. We go into Power Tool Braver Dragon. Okay. I mean, Power Tool Braver Dragon is pretty cool. Yeah, that also works too. So we'll take a look at this. We'll take a look at this rank up card real quick, since John really wanted to look at it, and I don't mind taking a look at it. Rise Rank Up Magic Raid Raptor's Force. During the main phase of your opponent's battle phase, target 2 or more Raid Raptor Xyz monsters you control and or in your graveyard, including a monster on the field. If at least 2 remain face up at resolution, which is, I don't like that because it means it can be messed with relatively easily. Special summon 1 Raid Raptor Xyz monster from your extra deck with a rank equal to the combined ranks. So it's not equal to or lower, it has to be exact. And if you do, attach the targeted monsters to it as material. Thank you for the follow, Totodoo. Really do appreciate you. This is creatures an Xyz summon. You can only activate 1 Rise Rank Up Magic Raid Raptor's Force per turn. And Tracimo TV raiding in with 3 duelists. Welcome, welcome on in. We were just taking a look at some... I mean, to be honest, we've been having just a chat about basically Arc V and the new box. And we've been playing some Rush. That's kind of what we've been up to. We were just taking a look at Rise rank up Magic Brave Raptor's Force. But I hope you had a great stream, Tracimo. And yeah, that's kind of it for the rank up. Rank up's cool. I'm quite happy with the rank up. I'm pretty sure Konami will keep printing more legacy support for decks that need it. It's a weird one though, right? Because what... Like, how does that work? There are just some archetypes that just haven't received support in years and years and years, right? So I don't know if that holds up. And then, like, what about decks that never really had support in the first place? Like, the original OG archetype was, like, Dark Scorpions. And yet, like, we haven't seen any, like, Dark Scorpion support. Where's the Donzalug Link monster, you know? It's weird. But I do think that stuff that was anime and like a big part of an anime, like a main character anime character, should receive a lot of support, right? Because there was still that one Cyrus card that just never came out, right? The one that was like super overpowered, he played against Zane. Like it was a trap card that would like reduce all damage. He could like negate an attack infinitely, and he only has to pay like 400 life points to stop it or something. It was completely bonkers. I'm just hoping Vrain's decks get more love too this year. They have a thing like retrains, but I know what you mean, yeah. Also know you're thinking of mini-cons. The bots are more recent. Ah, okay. See, I used to watch a lot of Transformers when I was a kid. I have not watched it recently, unfortunately. I still, don't get me wrong, I still love Transformers. Transformers are still great. I just haven't watched any of like the super recent stuff. I think 2021 or 2020, they got their own Netflix show. It's the only one season. Okay. Roids never shined, for example, in GX, and they aren't even good at all. I mean, Roids have, like, some individually good cards, but, you know, a couple of gems inside a dumpster doesn't make a good archetype, right? And even so, those cards aren't generic, so you can't play them outside of that archetype anyway, so even if there are, like, Mixeroid and stuff, which are actually relatively okay, it doesn't make the rest of the archetype good, which is a shame. I would think decks like Fossils could use more cards. Yeah, I would love to see Fossils get more support, to be honest. I mean, everyone loves Fossils. Who doesn't love Fossils? Fossils are such a cool deck. Also, if you're wondering about the toys, they has jumped into random collectible mini toy box, which why so popular, like the Shopkins or something like that. Ah, okay. Okay. Alright, let's hop into another game. And let's see. Because we have actually got a few wins with this deck now, but I don't really think any of them were deserved. I'm really not liking this deck at the moment. I don't know what we can do to this deck and make it good, to be honest. I hope we can do something, but I'm not feeling it at the moment. To be honest, even though the series is definitely meant for kids, some of the jokes there are absolutely hilarious. I mean, you could say the same thing about Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Yu-Gi-Oh is meant for kids, effectively. Whether or not those kids are 8 or 12 is kind of irrelevant. It's still meant for kids. Okay, we're against Harpies. We do already have a boss monster, which is something. And, well, it's the reason I love Morphtronic. I mean, as good a reason as any. I kind of have to kill both of his monsters, which is awkward because it means I have to use that. I mean, we have to go for it, but I really don't think this is going to work. But, like, we don't really have much of a choice other than to just pray that his back row is nothing. So we're going to drop Tribute to the Doomed. Going to pop that. Go to battle. We're going to swing. And we need this to not be anything, which it is something. Now, it doesn't matter if it's... Okay, Widespread Ruin is probably better for us here. If we don't die immediately here, we're probably still going to die anyway. I mean, regardless, I don't think we beat turn 1 Widespread. But, on top of that, we didn't have anything else to do with this hand. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is meant for kids. You just need a PhD to understand the cards. Very true. Very true. And also, Tomato, maybe one more Arc V character I want in the game is Battle Beast. Battle Beast. Well, that's just lethal on board. Good old Battle Beast. We need more, like, Gladiator Beasts. Saying that, we have just had like more Gladiator Beast support, right? So maybe that would have been the time. Also, here's my usual combat scoping into any level, power tool search out, hyper psychic, blade, pay the maximum amount of life points, equip to a power tool, then my opponent is still alive. Next turn, I will use one of the level 1 tuners to go into life stream to heal. The question is, can you survive that turn, I guess, is always going to be the big question mark. Gladiator Beasts are only missing 2 cards. If you can check them on a website. Yeah, we can take a look. Let's just get that up whilst we're letting our turn start. Okay. This... not the worst hand, all things considered. Let's see if we're against Hell Tuning Invasion. Well, there is on a 32 card deck, which is a bit weird. So far, every Glad Beast deck has failed versus my Towers deck. I mean, people still cooking, you know, there's still time. But at the same time, you know, Towers is very sticky. What are we against that he's playing Faithbird? Oh, this is just Hammer Crush Deal in, like, the biggest pile deck of all time. Okay. So it's just a bunch of 1500s in aggro. Okay. Now, is our opponent in his 32 card deck lucky enough to once again, turn 1, drop down... that's kind of annoying. I guess we have to do this. Drop down the turn 1 Widespread Ruin. Right, we go Palace Gargoyle. We activate Gargoyle. I guess we just discard the Curry Bot either way. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon the boy. Activate the effects. Pop this. I think we're just going to set these because we're not expecting this to go well. And has he got it? The turn 1? He does not have the turn 1 widespread. Okay. Things are looking okay at the moment. We'll see how it goes. This is the main game, yes, because we have 8,000, not 4th 1,000. 4,000. Okay. 2 missing cards that could make them even better. To be honest, I wish Towers worked better, but at the very least, at the Mo, there's a lot that beats it, so I don't think it will be good in my pocket, or if, well, there's a dinosaur. Hello, Super King Rex. But it beats it. I do think we will be good to have in my pocket. Ooh, certain metas, Towers can just hard counter. I think it's clear that they deliberately didn't release Towers like during the Pendulum era, right? They clearly did wait until a time where it would feel a bit weaker. So I think, you know, Konami know what they're doing with that. Like, if Sky Strikers become tier 0, then I go Towers easy. Yeah, well, I mean, what does Sky Striker even use to beat over it? They'd have to use, like, direct attacking with their... I can't remember which one direct attacks. One of the Link Monsters does. You can check them out after this game. Yeah, we'll check out the other cards after this. The other Gladiator Beast cards. See if we can find them. Alright, unfortunately, taking that beating kind of sucks. We kind of need another boss monster now to out this. Our opponent is literally just playing 1,500 beaters and then Unga Bunga 25s, and that's kind of it. That's the whole deck. Why are we still in the battle phase, my friend? You can end your turn. They can direct attack for 1,000 is all they can do, really. But there was a... I remember there was a combo they could do in TCG where, like, you could attack directly and then tag out, like, mid-combat and then get, like, another direct attack. And I think that only worked because they had a way to boost their attack. But it's been so long since I played Sky Striker. It's been literally over a year since I touched any of those cards. Okay, these are cards. These are cards that do things. Let's go Roman pick. We will fire off the Roman pick. Let's see what we get. I mean, again, we never really expect to hit anything off Roman pick, but it would be nice too. If we make 2 25s, we just hit these. I kind of want Cobalt to hit something, but if we miss, it gets really sketch. We're gonna risk it. We're gonna risk it. think we're going to discard this. Okay, that's fine then. Right, so we'll set. Wait, do we use the skill just to put cards back in our deck? We could put him back in, which is pretty good. What else would we put in, though? Right, we could do this. So we can normal summon. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon. Then we can activate our skill. And we'll put this back in because I just want it back in my deck. And then we'll put this back in because it's just another card. Let me target this. Then we just normal summon, attributing over Cobalt. Go to battle, then we'll just swing into both of these. And then we'll pass. Now, we might just get blown out here. We'll have to see what happens. They can... Yeah. So, it'll be interesting to see what actually happens with the current speed meta. Because there should be a multitude of tournaments, right? I think there's even a tournament going on, like, right now. So that'll be interesting to see what actually ends up happening with that. But we'll have, like, the Meta Weekly coming up. We'll have the Grand Prix. We'll probably have a handful of content dailies. We're going to have so much data, right? And we'll actually be able to see how some of these decks perform. Which will be really, really cool, right? Ooh, that's... Barrow Dragon. Please, miss. Okay, that's at least something going for us. Thank you for the follow, Neon Plays. So, we're going to lose our entire board. And we've got to fight through 2 back row. And he's still going to have a 26 and a 15. This is looking a little bit dicey for us, not going to lie. The fact this deck can't just beat, like, Unga Bunga 1500s is a little bit concerning. Ooh. That's not good. Summon. Because unfortunately, we can only use our effect on... I face it light attribute or psychic type. So I could summon, tribute both for something, then tribute that one to get the other ones online. But there's no point in me having both heavy metals because I physically can't do anything with them. That changes things a little bit. So now I could summon this, use its effect, discard something. Use that, tribute that. But no matter how you spin it, I just lose if he has a Widespread Ruin. We know one of his cards. We know this is a Hammer Crush. So I guess we're just going to go for it and see what happens. Go for the RoaRomin Advance. We'll put this back. Put this back. Let this be used as 2 tributes. Normal summon. Tribute 2. Get him out. Activate the effect. Pop the 15. Normal summon. And then we'll see if he's got it. Ooh. Ooh. And that's going to be a win. Nice. Would you prefer we get a 9th extra deck slot, or us to keep getting more skills that just add monsters to extra deck? I'm not a fan of the latter, since skills feel limiting to deck building. I'm really not a fan of all these add a handful of monster extra deck skills that also do stuff on the side. I think that's a very complicated topic, because there are pros and cons for both. I think, yes, having more options is always going to be really good, and it's a good way to express deck building. But at the same time, I would say that restriction breeds creativity, in the sense that if you can just have everything in your extra deck that you'd ever want, you would just stuff it full of cards that out every situation. And I think being limited will really separate the better players from the worst players, right? You'll be able to just put in, and you'll be able to identify the cards that are necessary for the strategy. And tech cards, although tech cards are really cool, I think putting a tech card in your deck should come with a little bit of cost, and the cost is, you know, one of the very limited spots, right? It's a weird place to be, especially because in TCG and OCG, we have 15. And we've always had 15. So when you're trying to emulate things from TCG or OCG, it creates this weird disconnect where it's like, oh, I can't quite do that. When I think about Duel Links, I always think they're trying to emulate anime battles. And I think the best way for them to do that is to put all these heavy restrictions on us, and adding cards to the extra deck forces you to play specific cards. And I get why that is, but at the same time, I do understand it can be a little bit frustrating when you just want to play the deck how you want to play it. So I guess my answer would be well, I guess it's not really an answer. I'll give you like an example, right? Is in Speed right now, or in Rush right now, is even better. In Rush, we have the draggiest pile, right? Which has been dubbed aggro. Now, aggro has a ton of different builds, right? You can play dinosaur aggro, you can play zombie aggro, you can play dragon aggro, you can play all these different aggro. Thunder aggro is probably the best one right now. But they're all, no matter how you spin it, all of the aggro decks are a bit boring because it's basically the same deck, and then you just change a handful of cards, and it's not very interesting. And I think that is something I wouldn't like to see in Speed. Now, in Speed, I don't think that's going to be a problem because the card pool is so diverse, right? But if suddenly you had 9 or even 10, or God forbid, 15 extra deck slots, I think a lot of decks would suddenly start using the same exact cards in the extra deck. Every deck would suddenly have Nightmare Phoenix. Every deck would now have just the Nightmares in general, right? Like, if you look at TCG now, like, Access Code is in pretty much every extra deck just because it's so generic. Like Zeus, a lot. If you can include Zeus, why wouldn't you include Zeus, right? So I think it's awkward. That's the nature of Rush Duels, though. But so it depends what you mean by that, because other than aggro, every other deck, you know, it is quite a decent format that we're in right now, right? Except, right. So my argument would be, take away Hell Tuning Invasion, and then having aggro Thunder, 7XL Road, Overlord, Cyburst, Ancient Forces. Like, I think if we just take away Hell Tuning Invasion, all the other decks feel quite balanced right now, and it does feel quite nice, and there is a lot of diversity there. And if you look at the modern Rush game, people aren't playing just, you know, good stuff pile. People are playing full archetypes because that's what makes sense, right? Rush Duels is an aggro format. It lacks the depth of Speed/regular. So I would disagree. I think Rush, in its current form in Duel Links, is more aggro focused, 100%. And Rush overall as a game is more aggro focused. I think I would agree with you to that extent. But as the card pool develops, and as we go forward into the modern game, more in-depth strategies have come out of it. And I think there's a difference between complexity and depth, right? Complexity is there are a lot more effects going on, there are a lot more ways to interact with these different effects, and there's a lot more of a knowledge gap to be able to play the game to a high level. Whereas depth is just, there is more going on. There is more beneath the surface, right? There is ways to improve and develop and increase your like knowledge within the game and get better at the game other than just kind of at the surface level. I think there are a lot of very simplistic games that do have a lot of depth, like chess, right? At a very simple level, you can learn the rules of chess in 5 minutes, but it takes a very long time to like master it and become like a professional. And again, I'm not trying to compare Rush to chess. It's just they're very mild similarities, right? It doesn't have chains or quick effects. Yeah, but not having chains or quick effects doesn't inherently, like, chains and quick effects aren't depth, right? Those are just an extra mechanic in the game, right? Again, it's very easy, I think, to just write Rush off as just being a lesser format. And I'm not necessarily saying it isn't, because at the end of the day, Rush is a simplified format. Rush deliberately was made as a reset because Konami believed that the TCG and OCG had gotten too complicated. The whole point of Rush is to be simpler. That is like a fact, right? No matter what anyone says trying to defend Rush, Rush is a simpler format. That is just like fact, right? But I don't think being simpler and easier and more accessible translates to lacking depth, right? I think that's my point. Did you check the 2 missing Gladiator Beast cards? No, we haven't gotten to that yet. We're still talking about the extra deck. Which is how we kind of got into this topic. But, again, my main point was, I don't like seeing the same cards used all the time, right? And I think if we made the extra deck too big, we would start seeing the same cards repeated and repeated and repeated, right? That's kind of how I see it. I think at the end of the day, I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was a literal child, right? I started playing competitively in tournaments during, you know, pre-GOAT format. So my competitive career playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Was, you know, T-set pass, all the way up until, like, synchro summoning and doing all that. So there was, like, the mechanics did stack on top of each other. But then when I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh!, which would have been mid-XZ's format, again, the game didn't feel like it had sped up that much. It was still very similar to what I had played before. But then when I got back into it again, after... Oh, this would have been... After Lynx came out, the game just was like on a completely different level, right? All of a sudden, you were doing all these wacky turn 1 plays of, you know, turn 1s were literally taking like 15-20 minutes. And then obviously Master Duel was another big one where people got back into it expecting the game that they played during their childhood, and it wasn't that, right? But that's why all of these different formats exist, and I quite like all of them, right? I will happily go back and play Go. I will happily play some Edison. I'll happily play Rush. I'll happily play Rush on Duel Links, which are, you know, 2 very different and different paced games. I also still very much like Master Duel and TCG. Like, I like all of the formats. I don't think there's necessarily a format I dislike. I think, arguably, GOAT gets a bit old pretty quick. I'll happily play a couple GOAT games, but after like 3 or 4, I'm getting a bit like, this is getting a bit samey. I don't know if I'm still having fun. But yeah, we'll go and check out those Gladiator Beast cards quick. Now, let's take a gander. So we have these. So it'll be the cards that do not have... Wait, do we not have defensive tactics in Duel Links? How do we not have defensive tactics in Duel Links? This card came out in GX. I mean, I guess I get it, right? People don't like Waboku type effects. My Twitch app keeps breaking, but to go more on my gripe, when Konami makes a skill that adds a bunch of extra deck monsters via a skill, it feels like Konami's saying, this deck can run more toolbox extra deck cards, since we'll just give them more of their archetypical extra deck monsters via a skill. I think the logic is, it acts as a form of balancing, right? It says, this deck doesn't, like TG was a good example of this back in the day, right? Where it was like, this deck doesn't work without like a 15 card extra deck. It just doesn't function how it's supposed to. But we don't want to let everyone else have it. So we're just going to stick all this in your deck. You've got everything you need now, or everything we want you to have, but we don't have to then give this to other people. It feels, again, a lot like in Rush, the Limit 3 list says you're not allowed to play this with Dragius. In the same way, they're saying we want some decks to be able to have more than 8 cards, but not all of them. You know, it's kind of a weird balancing act. They should just give us Waboku. I'm assuming Waboku is just straight up not in the game, and they're trying to limit as many Waboku effects as possible. That bloody Shiranui trap, I despise it. I despise that Shiranui trap that makes them take no damage the rest of their turn. It is infuriating in speed to just run into an effect like that. I assume things like Threatening Roar aren't in speed yet as well, or I possibly never will be. Anyway, let's check out these cards. So we have Noxious. I actually remember when Noxious came out. I do remember when this card was released. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, change the attack target to this card. Proceed to damage calculation. This card cannot be destroyed by the battle. This card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster. You can send a Gladiator Beast monster from your deck to the graveyard against a Foolish Burial. At the end of the battle phase, if this card is battled, you can shuffle it into the deck, special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, except Gladiator Beast Noxious. So, I think it becomes clear why they don't want this card in, because again, this kind of, unless your opponent has a very deliberate and specific out, this kind of ends the battle phase. And I think that's one of the things that Konami don't want, which also probably is why Defensive Tactics is also not in the game yet. So I kind of get why Noxus isn't in here. But then we have Tamer Editor, which is made using 2 level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast monsters. Okay, so I assume we just contact summon that. Yeah, we do. Cannot be used as fusion material. Once per turn, you can special summon a Gladiator Beast fusion monster from your extra deck, except Tamer Editor, during its summoning conditions. At the end of the battle phase, if your Gladiator Beast monster battled, you can shuffle that monster into the deck. So this gives all of your Gladiator Beasts the Gladiator Beast effect. Is that relevant? Like, do some of the fusion monsters not have that? Like, line of text on it? Like Heraclinos? It doesn't. So you could make a Heraclinos with it, and then just throw Heraclinos back in if you want to, and make 3 separate monsters. Or is it only 1? Yeah, some of 1. So you can only tag out for 1. I've seen quite a few TG players running toolbox cards, so I don't know. To me, it doesn't feel like it. I mean, again, I can't speak to current TG. I just know TG when they first came out were like that. Like, I haven't looked into TG since this new box has come out or anything. I think it depends though, right? Depending on what deck you play, having a bigger extra deck is going to feel more or less important, right? Like, to some archetypes, they don't need it. Yet to other archetypes, they're like, mate, this is so tight for space, I can fit nothing in here whatsoever. Well, I guess it's another weird one where, like, the main selling point, I guess, of Duel Links is that we have the skills, right? And the skills mix things up. They do allow us to have archetypes that weren't very good in TCG be very good in Duel Links, right? That's always, to me, been like the strong selling point. And, you know, a lot of those just happen to be anime archetypes as well, which is also pretty cool because I'm a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime fan. So having the anime decks be very good is something that appeals to me. Gladiator Beast is a really cool deck, though. I really do like the Gladiators. But I don't even know what a Gladiator Beast extra deck looks like these days. Like, if we just go and take a gander, let's just take a look at... I assume there's going to be Gladiators in this somewhere. If I'm not blind, that is. Someone must have submitted a Gladiator Beast deck, right? Surely. You're telling me no one's submitting a Gladiator Beast deck yet? Either that or I'm just blind. I mean, I guess it is what it is. What I did just see, though, is Ogdoatic. I do want to check this. Shelmy playing it as well. Shelmy on the Ogdos. I want to play Ogdos so bad. I might go all in on this box. I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to lie. And on the Reptilian Echidna. Okay. Yeah, the Nightmare cards is something that... Like, don't get me wrong. I use the Nightmare cards because they're so good. But I always find it a little bit underwhelming whenever I just see them slapped into everyone's extra deck. Just because it's like... I like people just using their own archetype cards, personally. I'll be going now, though. Good luck with the rush. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I can't kill anyone. Really do appreciate you stopping by. Well, speaking of, let's get back into the rush and see what happens. Again, we do keep getting derailed with conversation, but I do not think this deck's very good. But I could not tell you if it's just our build sucks or if the deck itself just sucks. Either way, it does not feel as good as the Royal Rebel Doom Metal skill, and it also does not feel as good as the new Psychic skill. But we'll keep testing it. We'll keep seeing how it feels. That is such an awkward hand. I mean, I think we have to empty it though, right? We can't just like sit here. Do we bother summoning? Hey, Dingust, how's it going? I always forget, by the way. Do you prefer Dingust or Dingust? I always forget. Because I have a small brain. I guess we'll just set this. I think no matter what we do with it, it's probably not going to have long for this world. I really cannot end with just 2 high levels in hand. I don't care. That is the best answer you could have given. Yeah, welcome on in. We're playing some RoaRomin. We're trying to work out if we like it or not. So far, I'm not a fan. So far, I think both, like, the new Royal Rebel skill and the new Psychic skill are just better. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Aha! I guess this is just less damage overall for him. He's going to tribute to the Doomed? I guess just to get that out of the hand. I mean, that's a good amount of damage in. Can't, like, bemoan him for that, but it does feel like a very early tribute to the Doomed. Okay, we have cards. The question is, do we even bother throwing out the Roman pick? It's kind of sketch. If we get that back, we'd have... I guess we'd have plenty of cards to actually make plays. We'd have to have another... Which, yeah, we would have anyway. Right, let's go for this. We'll go for the Roman pick. Let's fire it off. Let's see what we get. Boo, boo, boo. Never lucky. Never lucky. I'm sick of Konami keep buffing old decks that have already kinda meta and ignoring half-ass supporting decks that haven't. Yeah, I think that's always a bit sad when that happens, right? Like... Do I even use the skill? I'm in a weird predicament here. Where I'd have to leave this in attack mode. So I think we just don't use the skill. Activate this. We'll just discard this. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Activate the effect. I have to pop this. I mean, we might as well put this in attack. It might end up losing us the game, but we'll see what happens. We do already have... Right, let's go for this as well. We'll go for the RoaRomin Advance. There's no reason to put that back in. We will put this. Then we'll put this back in. And the reason to do that is just to shuffle the cards back in. I don't see a point in using our Talismanic Seal Array. Like, if we get a bit of extra damage and we die on the crap back, it doesn't matter anyway. Let's just see what he's got. So, Kazumi, what archetypes do you want to see support that haven't had any support in ages? That's my question. Because I will forever want more Fluffle support. But Fluffles, although they're not like a tiered deck, they're not like in an awful position, right? They're kind of fine. Is how I kind of look at it. Alien support, but haven't we just gotten indirect alien support? I'm also trying to think what modern alien support we don't have. I'm gonna have to get back up the old Dormix meta now, aren't I? Right, what don't we have? Aliens. We don't have Stealth Buster, Alien Shock Trooper M-Frame. We don't have Alien Brain. We don't have any of the Steel cards. We don't have Planet Pollutant Virus. Does anyone actually think Planet Pollutant Virus would break the game? At this point, I really don't think it matters. Okay, this is an awkward one because we have no play, and if we just set monsters in defense, we do just die. So we are forced to use Roman pick here. Now the question is, do we use our back row first to put more psychics into the deck? It's very awkward. I think we will do this though. Probably want this back in, this. We need to leave some of these low levels in. Do we even want you back in? I guess we don't. Probably get to be this. Volcanics. I mean, Volcanics is still fairly new support, right? I mean, I guess we take this, but I'm not really sure what that's going to do for us long term here. Right, we're normal. Fire this off just a mill. I think we do just tribute both, just to get cards out of hand. Now, we need to just hope that we don't run into, very specifically. I mean, I guess we use this. Actually, no, we don't use this skill. We're just going to straight to battle. Alright, please do not have Widespread Ruin. Otherwise, we are straight up dead. There is naught we can do if he has Widespread. Give me Gateway of the 6. Yeah, there's Widespread. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. Gateway of the 6, I guess would be... It creates, like, weird problems, right? So I don't actually think 6 Samurai is a particularly strong deck. But it does create these, like, really long combos. I don't see that if that'd be a problem. I guess I think it'd be fine, I don't know. Exodia? I don't even know what Exodia support isn't in the game right now. Is it all like the Exodia stuff? I mean, obviously we don't have actual Exodia. We have the brand new Exodia stuff that isn't even out in TCG yet. That could be cool. We've also got the Legendary Defender, True Exodia. That could be cool. I wish Earth Machine had a skill that gives you more extra deck space. Yeah, I mean, I am a big fan of Earth Machine personally, but I do also understand that a lot of people don't like playing against Earth Machine. No 6 Samurais, please. I want Paleos to actually be good too. Paleos is another one I wouldn't mind seeing get some support. I do like me some Paleos. This is such an odd hand. I kind of don't want to do anything, but I'm going to do everything. I think we have to just keep the big boy in hand. I guess we're going to summon out both of these, because if we can clear his whole board, that is going to be so much value. Let's see what he's got. Okay, so it looks like Resonance. And we do get to clear the whole board. Okay. Yes, Samurais, please, more. All of them. Make new ones if there aren't any left. I personally have always been a big fan of 6 Samurai, but I will always say, archetypes always feel a lot worse if you've been stuck in a meta with them. So, for example, I think ladders are the weirdest place for it, because if you're playing a ladder format, right, then you can play 100 games in a day, right? That's just something that happens when you have a ladder. And if you play 100 games in a day against the same tier 0 meta threat, it feels awful. I think it's why a lot of people have been really turned off against Hell Tuning Invasion and Rush right now, is because we're in a ladder format and we had the GRF where it was just everywhere. It just wouldn't go away. It was just the only, really, it wasn't the only deck. There was a lot of different decks, right? But I don't think people would be as hard on Hell Tuning Invasion if they weren't forced to play 3 full days against that deck. Don't get me wrong, I still think Hell Tuning Invasion needs to go. I want it nerfed. I want it nerfed into the ground. But I do think it has been exacerbated by the fact that people were subjected to so much of it. I'll put this back in. I guess we're going to get rid of this. There's no real reason to hold on to it. So in the same way, I think Harpy Ladies and 6 Samurai are always going to be 2 decks that I'm always going to think of, oh, in speed, these were in 2 very annoying metas, and therefore people have been kind of stuck with them. I mean, that's not lethal, so I'm not going to bother putting it in attack mode. I could have gone for lethal. I didn't actually realise I wasn't doing any maths. I could have summoned out the Karibo, summoned out the Speedy Performer, and gone for lethal, but this is fine. At least the deck is not negate deck. It just sets up big wall with Citadel and filled with extenders. I mean, I think for the most part, people don't like how long it takes. I think it's the same reason people don't like Orcust, is because Orcust just takes a long time to have their turns usually, right? I was playing 6 Sam during tier 0 format, and I've never been playing any other deck for speed duels since Lamau. I hate tier 0 formats. I am the same. I dislike tier 0 formats. I think tier 0 is not the way card games are meant to be played. I think some tier 0 decks are cool. I want to stress that. But overall, tier 0 bad. That's my input. Even though I like Invoked, I didn't like it being tier 0. And I think that is a good point, right? And Promanicus comes in with I hate Hell Tuning. Hell Tuning, again. So, alright, a good example of this was last night we had another Rush Duel tournament, right? We had a Quantum Cubes Rush tournament. And that was really cool. But everyone in it, because Hylister made it to the final using Royal Rebels. And everyone likes Hylister, right? Nobody doesn't like Hylister. Hylister's great. But you could see the chat slowly working against Hylister because they really don't like Royal Rebels. And I understand, right? Though, yeah, people are just sick of Royal Rebels now. But we've got to that stage where people are just like, can we just not have Royal Rebels, please? And people want to see something that isn't Royal Rebels win. Okay. We can pay 500 to get that back, or we can pay 500 to use that. neither of which actually solve any of my problems. So we're going to start with a Kobold. Activate the effect. The sad thing is that we've already had lethal and missed it. So this outs this. I can't use your effect anyway, so I might as well just pay the 500 with this. We do get a bonus card. It's a bonus card. Wait, I can't use it? Oh, our life points are the same! That's very funny. Okay, in which case, we'll summon out the Curry Bot. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Or activate Talismanic Seal Array. We'll just put some cards back. Undo. Right, now that back row wasn't used last time. So we're going to assume it is not live now. Yeah! Another win! I love tier 0. Plossilus, mate. You're not going to make any friends with statements like that. I still think Cocytus has served its time, though, and should come back. Yeah, I personally would like to see, like, temporary ban lists, if that makes sense. Like, just release a couple cards, see how they do for a week or two, and then if it's bad, just put them back, right? I think that would be fine. I think that would be okay. Only if they take any form of skill. See, now that, I think, is very subjective, right? I think a lot of people would argue, for example, Hell Tuning Invasion. Let's start off with this. Hell Tuning Invasion is not a tier 0 deck. And I think in Rush, it's very difficult to be a tier 0 deck because no matter what happens, you can always beat a deck in Rush, right? If you just get a little bit lucky, if you just draw the good hand, if your opponent just bricks, right? Which is something that happens a lot less in Speed. But a lot of people, I think, would argue that Hell Tuning Invasion doesn't take any skill. And I think there are a lot of people that would argue it does take a bit of skill. I think I was more towards the camp of, I feel like it was kind of a bit brain dead. But then after playing it for like, 12 hours in the GRF, my mind then swapped to like, okay, there is some depth to this deck. There is some really cool shit you can do with it. But it still feels to your opponent like you're just flipping all their shit up and regecking their board, right? It's just not very interesting, right? Skill in Yu-Gi-Oh! The only skill in Yu-Gi-Oh! In Duel Links is the yellow button. Yellow button has saved me so many times. Yellow button is my best friend. I don't like it because you're not playing against a deck, you're playing against a skill, which sucks for Royal Rebel because if it does get nerfed, hopefully, the deck will see dramatically less play. I was testing, so we're probably going to have a video coming out about this soon as well. We were actually testing the new Royal Rebel deck, and I really like it, right? Now, I don't think it's super strong. I think realistically, this is like low tier 3 at best, right? But it feels cool, right? It feels like Royal Rebels. We're summoning out lots of big guys. We're using their effects, tributing big guys for big guys, popping lots of stuff. It feels really cool. And I don't actually think it's bad. The only problem with this deck is, you still just lack that ability to deal with face-down monsters. And I think that's always going to be this deck's issue, which is why Hell Tuning Evasion was like a godsend for the deck, because now it lets them play through that. I think Royal Rebels still are going to want a way to just deal with defense mode monsters. Now, it doesn't really matter what that is, right? Whether it's you have a skill that lets your heavy metal pop a face-down card, or Hell Tuning Invasion now only flips one monster or something, right? But you need a way to get to life points generally, and in Archetype, this deck just doesn't have it, and that's what feels really bad. You don't want to be playing Pierce, you don't want to be playing Stop Defense, right? Coming from the TCG, Zodiac format was so much fun, took a lot of skill in my opinion. Don't know if tier 0 in Duel Links would be great though, because usually that's because they fuck up skills. I think another thing to take away is that in TCG, now there are... So Master Duel has like thrown a wrench in this, and then obviously there's like Dueling Book. But generally, outside of testing, players play in TCG like they go to like weekly tournaments, right? So you don't have to sit there and play hundreds and hundreds of games back to back to back to back to back. So tier 0, I think, doesn't feel quite the same. But again, there is Dueling Book. There are other simulators where people do grind it back to back to back to back. And there is now Master Duel, which is its own format, but again, is a ladder, and therefore you do grind it again and again and again and again. And I think if you're in a ladder type format, Tier 0 just feels awful because you're just going to play against the same deck for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games, and it's just going to feel so very meh. And those are just unfair. It's like early Necros format, IRL, where you just won when you set up a Jin lock and your opponent didn't draw any out. I mean, yeah. I mean, even earlier than that, right? There were formats back in like OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it was like your opponent set up a floodgate and it's like, oh, you don't have MST? I guess you just don't play the game. Now, again, those were a bit few and far between. But a lot of the time people didn't bother playing them because the side deck exists, right? And being able to side deck anti-stool cards or anti-degenerate cards is quite a norm, right? I would often go to play in tournaments and have like MS, like usually MST being the main, but you have like 3 Dust Tornado, like Twister, all this stuff to like stop these really annoying floodgates in the side deck, and then you'd have like anti-OTK cards like maybe Wabaku or Threatening Roar to stop like, because again, back when I played Stein, OTK was a big deck, right? Obviously when you play these kind of laddered formats, or specifically Master Duel and Duel Links, we don't have a side deck. At least some tournaments have side decks, but for the most part you don't have a side deck, which means either you have to run the outs to everything in the main, or you just don't run like the outs to the degenerate decks. And then it kind of comes down to Konami to just kind of either stop those degenerate decks from existing or to balance them in such a way where they're not going to be prevalent. Because, I mean, I think everyone here can remember at least a format of Duel Links that has been like FTKs or Degeneracy. Like even as recently as the Tachyon FTK deck, right? And again, back at the beginning of Duel Links, which is when obviously I started playing it, Taya Burn was just an FTK, right? So it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Right, just wait for the ad to disappear. So if the new skill also let you flip a monster for every monster you summoned with the skill face up, then they'd have a good skill, which is the best of both skills. I think that's what I'd like, right? Like, I think they tried too hard with Hell Tuning Invasion to make Royal Rebels Invasion good and playable. And in doing that, they fucked everything else. Whereas we should just focus on Doom Metal, because Doom Metal's awesome. What's up, everybody? Rock your body. Hello, Alice in Borderland. Welcome on in. We're just discussing Tier 0 formats, Floodgates, Hell Tuning Invasion, and things like that. And we're also just playing some RoaRomin, which, again, I'm really not liking this deck too much right now. I guess we'll just do this. We'll set 3 pass. But it is what it is. We have to test it. We have to test it. It's our homework, right? Can't be a Rush content creator / tournament participant and not test all the decks. But, yeah, I am of the mind that Hell Tuning Invasion does need to be changed, right? I think it needs something. I think there are, though, so many different ways to change it. And I'm curious to see what they actually end up choosing. Because they could change it in a way that doesn't make it much better, or they could just not change it at all, which I think would be the worst thing. I actually think I would have enjoyed... Because I still enjoyed the GRF, but I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more had it... had Hell Tuning Invasion not been there, I guess, is my takeaway. Okay, we have lots of different things we can actually do here. Curious. Alright, let's flip up Cobalt Kobold. We'll start off by using its effect, and we will just discard a goat. Let's see what we draw. Okay, that hasn't changed literally anything. So next up, we can flip over Palace Gargoyle. Do I just tribute these two? There's no real reason to not. Outside of I could use that for 1 less tribute. If something both of these, it'd be 1/2 for that. We could do that for that, and then we'd have cards left over. We'd have too many cards. We don't even want to do that, so we're probably just not going to use... Oh, I suppose we could do it anyway. We use this discard. So tribute that. Tribute just that for that. And then we could summon that, have this left over. Not bad. I guess we'd have to put one of these back as the... Oh no, we could put that back. Okay, that's fine. Right, so tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon. Then we can activate our skill. RoaRomin Advance. And we'll put back, you're the only target for that. And you're the one that we want not be in the graveyard. We'll choose you. Tribute over this. Okay, then pop that. Now, how greedy do we get is the next question. I mean, we're feeling greedy, right? I think we're feeling greedy. Let's see how greedy we get. Yeah, greed never punished. Getting for a big chunk of damage. And pass the turn. Let's see what he's got. They could release 1,000,000 Royal Rebel skills, but Hell Tuning still exists. And does everything it needs for Royal Rebels to work. Yes, I think the only way people stop using it is literally if they change it, or if they power creep it with a better skill. There is no other reason for people to stop using Hell Tuning Invasion. I, for one, just want it gone, right? Because again, if we look at like the recent tournament results, it's basically all Royal Rebels, right? Like, if we are going back from Genesis Maximum, tournaments that we've had that have had more than 32 players, again, we're going to specify because that's a pretty good sample size. We have had, of the 5, 6, 7, 8, we've had 5 of those tournaments won by Royal Rebels. Like, 5 tournaments out of 8. Over 50% won by Royal Rebels, which is... I think it's just getting old. I'm just kind of tired of the Rebels at this point. I have no way to, like, pop his defense mode monsters without Esperard, so... there's no real reason to do anything other than attack here. Wow. What are we playing against here? Is this SAR? No, this could be SAR. We know we're not against Overload. But again, I think if you take Hell Tuning out, I think the meta for Rush right now is in such a good place. Like, it's just take out Hell Tuning Evasion. Everything else feels like relatively balanced against each other. I think arguably Cyburst could use like a little bit of a something. But I feel like they don't need much. They just need like a little push, and then they'll be okay as well. Well, I mean, we're just going to go straight to battle here. Let's just swing with this, see what he's got. Recital. Widespread. And we'll swing with our 12. Kill that. And we'll just pass. Cyber should be able to run some level 4 lower non-engine. Yeah, that has always been the biggest annoyance for me. I think Cyburst would be in such an okay spot if they just had access to cards from other types. The fact that they're so restricted. Also, did he just really draw like double MST when we had both of our defensive traps out? That's pretty cringe. Now, is he going to OTK us here? We do have 37 blocking him from killing us. No, there's no way he OTKs us through this. Not if that's his hand. I mean, we just kill on the crackback, right? I'm pretty sure we have lethal. We don't have... well, we have a psychic now. We have everything for our skill. We don't have a high level to tribute. That's kind of our... oh. There's a high level to tribute. So what we do, summon Tribute that for that, along with something else. Summon out a light monster. Tribute it 2 tributes for that. We have that, and then that, I guess. What's going on with our music? It's broken. There we go. Alright, we will summon Buyer. Choose Buyer here. Put back Buyer. We'll normal the Currybot. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate. Now, is this just straight lethal on its own? It's 2,000 damage. Yes, we don't even have to worry about it. We'll just go straight to battle. Boom. Cybursts are getting a skill to add back a normal monster. Could make Cyburst aggro better. But so the problem that Cyburst aggro has right now is they lack a lot of good. So aggro doesn't want to play a ton of Cyburst cards, right? But the Attribute Hydron wants you to play a ton of Cyburst cards, right? That's kind of the weird dichotomy you find yourself in. Because you need as many Cyburst cards as possible, but we don't have any of the really good milling cards because they're all locked behind a skill that says you can't use Dragius. So it's like a bit of a weird, like awkward position, right? No Attribute Hydron though, which is the best one. Oh, does the new skill specifically say you can't use Attribute Hydron? I haven't looked at the leaks in a while. I assume it's like no 2,500 monsters or something. But yeah, that's what we want, right? What you need to make Cyburst good is allow them to play with the other toys, right? Unfortunately, they're so hard locked in their stuff. Even Thunders, which seem the most restricted other than Cyburst, are allowed to play level 4s. And they make very good use of that between Essel, between Piercing Samurai, right? You can't use level 8s. Ugh. I think that's... Because Cyburst aggro would be really, really good if we had ways to get more Cyburst cards into the graveyard. But that's the main issue, is they just don't have that. And just trying to play it like vanilla, it just feels like you never get enough Cyburst into the graveyard to have it like work how you want it to. I mean, I think we're just going to summon that, right? The only issue is, if he's playing Thunder, he just gets to clap it out of the way, but we don't really get a say in that anyway. So we'll set Currybot. We will just tribute it for Summon Skull. We'll just set these two. This way, if it is Harpies, he still can't flip over our weaker monsters. If it's Thunder, he gets to do it every once, but we do still have a card in hand, so we can't pierce over us with Trigger Drago. Okay, it is Harpies then. So this is pretty much best case scenario, but he still beats this with any of his Harpy ladies. Any of the Harpy lady sisters, I should specify. I've been struggling to make it work. I just hate that I have to run more than 30 in a Red Eyes build because opening it is insta-lose. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the reason why I was playing a 40 card deck with Red Eyes. But again, 40 makes sense just to sort out ratios. Other than that, it is always empirically worse, right? We have all Fiends in Grave, so we have no way to use our skill. Right, we'll summon, activate. We'll throw this away. Now we can use our skill, which will let us keep an extra card. Pop you back. And then we'll pop you back, I guess. Select this. Tribute over this. Activate the effect. Pop. Now we're in a weird spot where if he has widespread, we get giga punished, but like there's nothing else we can do. Okay. That's also something I don't like, is when there's so many opportunities when I play, I guess just Rush in general, but I guess a lot of the better decks feel like you usually have a bit more control over it. But where I'm like, well, if my opponent has widespread here, I'm fucked. But I can't not play into it, because otherwise I'm also fucked. So it's like, fingers crossed she just doesn't have it. Oh, Shield and Sword's pretty good here. We're going to be taking a chunk. I don't think there's much we can really do about that. It's probably going to be about 31. I mean, 31 is still a lot, but could be worse. Goes to the Force. Boosts its attack up. We're keeping that card in hand, which means probably just a low-level monster. Goes up to the 31 as predicted. We lose him. Do we bother negating this? I don't think we do, right? We can just take it. So this is another, like, awkward hand. Because we can't use our skill on Buyer. But Buyer's still good here because we can still use it to get rid of stuff. I'll put back the level 4. We'll normal out's Performer. Activate its effect. Doesn't matter what we pick here. I mean, Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Activate the effects. We'll pop this. If I reduce this by 1,000, I can put it down to 11. I can get this up by an extra 100. So that'll be 29 plus 4. So I could get to 33. Which means I can... Oh, wait, no, I can kill if I use that as well, right? Wait, how many cards do we have engraved before we commit to this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all monsters. Okay, so this should be fine then. So now we'll activate the skill. Put this back. This back. Treat this as 2 tributes. Tribute over it. Summon. Activate the effect. Pop this. Normal summon. Activate the effect. Boost this up further. Activate TSA. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's lethal, baby. Oh, nice. It's this deck like has its moments, but like I don't know. Again, I still don't think we have the best build of it. But it's awkward to try and think of changes to actually make in this deck. Like it's really awkward. Like, if we close our overlay real quick. I really don't know what else we would change. Because, like, you could say, like, oh, Buyer shouldn't be in it because it doesn't work the skill. But Buyer has, what, like, in that last turn, Buyer worked and won us the game. So, like, Buyer's still fantastic. And lets us recycle on level 4s. Gargo seems almost necessary. Performer isn't great, although it did just win. Have we tried using Flute? We haven't tried that yet. I suppose we could try a build with that now. The problem with Flute is I feel like it's fantastic when you have the line, right? If you don't have the line for Flute to work, it just feels like it's dead a lot of the time. Which I suppose isn't the end of the world. It's pretty much exactly the same for like Speedy Performer, right? It's good when it wins you the game and useless when it doesn't. I think the boss monsters are what feel weird. I don't really want to have more than one Prima. But I like having the one Prima because it can just end the game. And you can cheat it out easier. But Esperard, a lot of the time, just the 2500 body is good. As well as we have won a couple of games off of just getting the effect off. Roman pick also feels weird because we're not playing that many psychics. So we haven't actually been able to use Roman pick that much. Alright, let's take a look. Because we were looking at Flute when we were building this deck. So you have no other monsters on your field, 3 or more normal monsters in your graveyard. So we're going to have to run a critical mass of normals to make this work. We'd have to play it alongside, you know, the main target for it, which is going to be Ekelkus. As long as card from field to the graveyard, special summon one normal monster from your graveyard to your field and face up defense position. I mean, there's no other like good normals. I mean, also it's arguably not calling them good. I love this stream for the rush content and the music. My man, keep it up. I mean, we aim to please, Colossalus. What do we want to do with this? We have to have a critical mass of normies in the grave. That's just something that needs to happen. What comes out? I mean, I guess we could take the Karibots out. We can't take out too many psychics because we need them for the deck to work. Otherwise the skill just doesn't work. We need these normals, so there's no point taking them out. Gargoyle is basically the same as a Keckless, but I don't really want to take it out because these are now going to be our primary. We could get rid of Bayer. And you succeeded, my friend. Well, we do appreciate that. I don't want to take Bayer out, but I think it's the next logical step. I feel like it's Bayer or it's Cobalt. Bayer is just so good, though. I think we'll try it without Bayer. I really think he's going to come back in very, very quickly. The other problem is that playing it like this, we have too many big monsters. You could remove all the psychics and run Hell Tuning Invasion. I think you might be onto something there, Manicust. I think realistically, that is the most sensible suggestion. But it doesn't really get in line with our goals of testing at the moment, unfortunately. I don't see how a Keckless fits in the deck. Just because. Like, right now we have 1, 2, 3. And this is the main point of the deck, is to use Royal Rebels Heavy Metal. The main point of this skill, the absolute main point, is that we cheat out Heavy Metal. So we kind of want to play as many of this as possible. The Psychic boss monsters aren't necessarily important, but we do need something in here that is Psychic, that is not level 4, in order for our skill to work. So we need at least some Psychics in here. I think you could maybe take Esperard out. But even looking at that, we're still on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tribute monsters now. Now again, 4 of those are low level ones, but you can still brick on that quite easily. I think maybe we just do this. We tried this out for a little bit. Again, I'm not expecting much out of this deck, but I want to test it at least. I don't know if there's like a better version we could do with this, but we'll test it like this for now, and it will, I think, very quickly start to show where the cracks are, and we can try and plug up the holes where we see them. Okay, let's see what our opponent's got for us. What about the Bouncer? Level 5-6, can't remember. See, that it has the same problem, where I suppose we could use it instead of the Keckless. That is one thing we could do. But we don't want to put in it on top of all the other tribute monsters we've already got, so it would literally be replacing this. But I think arguably that would be better, because then it helps the balance. In my mind, I'm just like, no, you play Archfiends with a Keckless. That's the card that goes with it. But no, you're completely right. I think it would be better to use Bouncer. Okay, Harpies again. Fanatic. Okay, that's fine. So normal. Activate the effect. Discard. Set. Tribute 2. Activate Heavy Metal. Pop this. Set. Battle Swing. Now, if he does have the turn 1 widespread, it really hurts us. Right, we'll pass on that. Because that's another thing. If this Keckless was Bouncer, we could have immediately shuffled 2 back and kept an extra card and had another body on board, which is just infinitely better. Okay, so we can use Trick Pigeon, recycle our boy. Alright, boy, our girl. Get out the L. Boost it by 500. Attack over, attack over. Okay. 2 boss monsters. Are we going to use the boost extra 500? We can. Oh, no, because they're not wind, they're lights. Goodbye, my flute. Right, draw for turn. I hate you, Keklis. There's no reason to hold it in hand, is there? So we're going to set. And because we're against harpies, it should be over the 0 attacker. Set. End. Right, let's see what our opponent's got for us. I have a feeling this isn't going to go well for us. We will, however, have a Psychic in the graveyard, which will be something. We've also got plenty of stuff in the graveyard set up for our Summoning Flute, if we can draw another one. But we have to get that stage first. That's scary. Especially since our back row... I mean, our back row can stop that. If he boosts it all on Harpy's pet, we will probably negate the attack. Yeah, we're going to negate this attack. It's too much damage. Fortunately, he did hit our best target for it as well. Or his best option, I suppose. Back into the deck. Take the 17. Boop. Take 500, nerd. Alright, let's see what we get. Still no boss. At this point, it doesn't matter if we get our skill off, so I am going to activate our skill. I want this back in my deck. And we're going to summon, activate the effect, pitch this. Ugh, that stinks. Come on, tribute over this. Then I guess we're just going to set, because attacking haphazardly into this board is just death. If we lose a monster, we're just dead, like straight up. So we need to wait until we can pop a load of his stuff. I would like to get these two out of my hand, but there's just no way to do so right now. We shouldn't die this turn, but we will probably die next turn. So we got 3 draws to try and find something. Aha! It was me, a Keklis. PSA. Oh, yeah, that's death. Boost that by 500. Ah! Maybe we're not dead. We're very low, but as is, we're not dead. We are now dead. Wait, what? Does he not have 2 wing beasts? He doesn't! Aha! If only I was still on Esperad. Okay. Unfortunately, this is really bad, because the only card we can discard is the one card we want to keep in hand. I mean, I could weaken this by 14, put it down to 24, attack over it, die on the crackback. But that doesn't do anything. There is literally no win condition here, so that's just game. Alright, we'll try swapping out for the bouncer. And again, we didn't actually draw any of our flutes, so we didn't actually get to see how it worked. Like, we drew one on turn 1 when we couldn't do anything with it. So I don't want to, like, write it off completely yet. We still need to do a bit more testing, but first impression, not looking super great. Right, let's try this again. I think what this skill needs more than anything is... I don't even know what this skill needs. I think what it needs to feel good is to increase the level of my monsters by 1, but I feel like that's too good, right? Suddenly it's now spam out heavy metal. Actually, would spamming a heavy metal even be that good? You'd still have to draw it. Like, I don't know if it would suddenly become busted. It would probably be fine. Right, let's see what our possibly Cyberse opponent has for us. I haven't even put overlay back up. Back up. Or our possible... I mean, I guess it could be Hammer Crush Deal. But it's probably Cyberse. Let's see what he has. Okay, we have Sigistate Soul down. We do have Femtron in the graveyard already. Kobold now is awkward. I could just play 2 monsters in defense, but that doesn't feel very good. Leaving both these in hand also seems abysmal. I think we are going to risk it. We're going to go for the Kobold play. I mean, that doesn't really change anything. So I'll set over this. I think we're just going to set over this as well. And then we'll just pass. This is always a weird thing with running level 6s, is if you don't have some sort of effect to make them better, they just feel like a bit of a liability most of the time. Like Ancient Arise, they feel okay in that because you can boost them by 1,000, right? Harpies feel okay because, again, you can boost them by 500. They're already 21, which is noticeably a lot better than 2,000. And you can also use the middle piece just to boost by another 500. If this skill increased the level and maybe flip stuff, base it up so you could benefit off of heavy metal and do damage, now not get walled up, is that asking too much? Probably. I think Royal Rebels need a skill to help them get cards out and to help them hit through defense monsters. That's all they need. They don't need anything else. They don't need to wipe the whole board. They don't need... I don't even think they need a way to out maximums, right? I don't think they need the ability to lower your opponent's levels at all. Like, I understand they want that to make invasion good, but I don't think it's necessary. I can kill both of these, I guess. Especially if I shuffle some cards back. So I'm going to normal this. Activate the skill. We'll put back you. And you. We'll target you. Tribute over you. For you. Normal. Activate your effect. We'll activate Tribute to the Doomed. Discard. Pop. Battle. Swing. Swing. Now, this does kind of stink, because if he now gets his maximum out, we basically have to draw our... Well, actually, we have no outs to it now. We've lost all of our outs to the maximum. And we took Esperard out, so we literally have no more outs. So, we'll have to see. Slifer Slacky comes in once again, telling us to get our game on. Welcome, welcome. Femtron into Doggy. If it just flipped up but didn't change battle position, it wouldn't be as bad. Now Heavy Metal is played at 2 and Doom is now ran instead. It would work for them quite well. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think there are so many different ways you could change the skill and make it not be such a huge pain in the ass, right? Like, I think just exactly as it is now, it is too much, right? Just flipping them all up, changing them to attack, and reducing level, all of that combined is what makes it broken as fuck. Okay, we'll take some damage there. Now, all we need to do is draw a Heavy Metal, and we are... It's game, right? Just a Heavy Metal. We have 3 in the deck. And there's game. We have everything we need already, right? So we don't even have to, like, dance around it. Gargoyle, discard Bouncer. Activate our skill. Put you back. We'll put... Tribute for the boy. Activate the effect. Pop that. Go to battle. Swing for 5k. I think that's the thing, right? I think most people agree Royal Rebels are cool. They like the cards themselves. We just all hate Hell Tuning Invasion. Let's just get rid of that. Keep Royal Rebels as like a good deck. Let them be playable. Let them be good even. Just don't let them be Royal Rebels Hell Tuning Invasion, right? Just get rid of that shit. Matching successful. The other thing I don't like about Hell Tuning Invasion is the discard. Now, obviously, the skill is busted anyway, and the discard doesn't even make up for how busted the skill is. But I don't like playing the deck because I really don't like the discard. It feels so like, oh, I'm just going to do my one combo, get in for like the 37, whatever it is, 35? 35. And then just hope I draw it again. That's a babysitter goat. Sure. I guess I will tribute set this over this. And we'll set. So we tributed over the Speedy Performer because Performer is a Psychic monster, which is going to make it look like I'm playing Psychic. Go Cyclone. That's my Widespread Ruin. That's not fair. Can't just pop my Widespread on turn 1. I very rarely draw Widespread turn 1. Whenever I do, it always seems to get bloody popped. Alright, let's see what our opponent has for us here. Going on the defensive, I say. How have you got 3 cards in hand? Have you got, like, most of a maximum? Or no, he's got a whole maximum in hand. That's gotta be it, right? He has a whole max. So all we have to do is get just aggressive enough where we don't die to a full max play. Tribute over this to summon it. I'll then flip this up. If we hit him down for 2,000, he'll be at 4,000 life. 35 plus 12 is 47 plus 2,000. It'll still be 47 no matter what. So we'll go to battle. Swing with this. We'll get him for 2k. Then we'll pass. Gonna go for another Ghost Cyclone. That's a little bit annoying because that was our out to his max. Now if he slaps down the max, we just go on the defensive forever and hope he's not running Pierce or Stop Defense. Alright. What is he going to do though? 6 cards in hand. We are almost certain he has a full maximum in his hand. That's what would make sense to me. Got a big think. Really trying to work out how to do it. Get reduced by 800 and get a grand total of, without, I don't think there's any way he can kill me in this position. The issue is if we get a load of cards into his graveyard, then he could sneak into that spot. That is very interesting. We potentially have lethal if it would all come down to what his last guy is, or if one of his guys has low defense points, which it should have, but it could have up to 14. Alright, we're going to risk it because it's the funnier play. So we're going to go Kobold. We'll activate its effect. Discard and draw. Okay, that doesn't change anything, but we will go ahead and use Tribute to the Doomed. Discard and pop this. We'll set. Go to battle, swing. And then we'll just kill him. Yeah, that's what happens for holding your whole maximum in your hand. Alright. It's a weird one. I don't feel like any of our wins have been convincing. None of them have been, like, really strong. Like, 'cause our win rate with this deck isn't even that bad, which is weird. But I think that's not the strength of the deck. I think that's the lack of competitiveness in King of Games. I think is the best way to describe it. That's how it feels, anyway. Alright, Accelerator. Let's see what you got for us. Roa Cassidy. Okay, this could be a Hell Tuning Invasion. Ladder is fake. I never face tuning. Yeah, I mean, we've placed against a couple of tuning today, but Ladder is where... Oh, this is a god-awful hand, isn't it? Ladder, for the most part, I feel like is basically... I think we have to set this as well, because if he is playing... I mean, if he's playing Hell Tuning Invasion, it doesn't matter anyway, but if we just give him for free, without even having to use Hell Tuning Invasion, a 2500 boost on his heavy metal. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people... see, it's like another good example, GRF, right? GRF came around, everyone spammed the hell out of all their best decks, and we saw a ton of Hell Tuning Invasion in the GRF. And after that, I just didn't want to play Hell Tuning Invasion anymore. I was like, I've played so much of this deck. I'll play anything else, just not this, please. Right, now, this is where it gets kind of sucky, because he's going to pop this, gain 2500 attack, and then get in for 5000 damage, and there's not really anything I can do about it. And he'll still have a card left over, so if he sets a monster as well, which means we can't do the same back to him. It is Invasion. Okay, that's good for us. We do already have basically everything we need, which means we can get back at him for 4000. I guarantee you, that last back row is going to be the widespread turn one widespread. It's got to be. There's no way it's not. Does that change anything? No, it doesn't, does it? This is dark. We don't have a light monster. That is so annoying. Then we have to go Kobold. We will activate the effect here. We will just discard this. Watch, that's still not a light monster. Okay, maybe this is a reason why we shouldn't be on Go. I'm trying to think. Yeah, the other one is a light monster as well, so that would actually be a lot better. It hasn't come up until now. Not really. Hey, Icy. Welcome on in. This is really awkward. We cannot do this the way we want to. So we kind of have to do it this way. Pop this back. And then... I guess I'll pop you back. So we'll tribute. Heavy metal for heavy metal. Activate the effect. Get rid of this. Set. Go to battle. Swing. We do actually get in for a clean 38. We're quite happy with that. We are quite happy with that. And as always, whenever Icy comes in, we always give Icy the shout out. So have you opened the new box yet, Icy? I need to know. I need to know if you've opened it. Have you got 3 copies of every card yet? Have you built the Ogdoatic Day 1 cog grind. I'm ready for it. Oh, don't tribute to the Doomy. How have the duels been going? The duels have been going reasonably well. Better than we expected. Basically, I don't think this deck is very good. I still don't think we found the best build for this deck. But even, I think the best build of this deck is still not going to be super competitive. I think it's still fine. Like any deck in Rush is fine. You can win with anything. You can cog with anything, realistically. It's just like, would you win with a whole tournament with this? Probably not. 2 more back row. Does he have any level 1s? No, he doesn't. So we can't use this because we have monsters on our field. That kind of sucks. Also a dark. Could summon, discard this, tribute over for this, summon that. Again, that doesn't really get us anywhere. 0 attack. We could just tribute 2. Swing. That's a way to threaten lethal, but chances are he's gonna have a widespread. My gut is telling me widespread and another Ghost Cyclone. The only way I beat that is with a normal summon of a light or thingy monster. So we're going to take this. Discard. That's a light. We'll summon this. Tribute over this. Summon this. We're going to go ahead and activate our skill. Put you back. And we'll put you back. Target this. Tribute over. Set. Swing. I probably should have swung with this one first, just in case. I don't think it really makes a difference. No, it definitely did make a difference. Wait a minute. Wait, what? You had a chance to live. So my second attack was always going to be this on this anyway. But he could have lived if he did that in a different order. That seems a bit weird. That does seem a little bit weird. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Are you streaming today, Icy? I'm going to assume you're going to be streaming at some point. We're against Zavi. Playing the rower. So is this going to be Hell Tuning Invasion again? That's the question. Can't Magic 3. Probably will a bit later. Okay. I was going to say, if you were streaming soon, we would just raid into you. But if you're not doing it for a bit. Well, this is useless right now. This is super useless. This is okay for later, this is okay for later, and this is okay for later. So which one is less useful? We'll probably throw this one away. No, we'll probably get rid of this one. Just because we're probably going to shuffle one of these two back into the deck. So we want to keep one in the graveyard. See, a lot of people have been playing strikers. So we were talking about this earlier. And a lot of people in the chat were saying that they were really looking forward to playing like Gladiator Beasts. I was really looking forward to Ogdoadic. There are a lot of very cool decks right now. And I think a lot of people are really excited to play a lot of the different ones. Strikers, as weird as it sounds, I think seem the least interesting. Okay, we're taking 25. That's fine. We don't mind taking 25. We didn't give him any kind of a big boost, and we do get to keep a monster. Well, we're taking the 21. We get to keep our Fanatic. That's an interesting choice. That's not ideal. If I weaken this thing, I can get it down to 900. Dun, dun. Alright, I think we do have to attack over it, right? How do we get more monsters in graveyard? Are we going to have to use Palace Gargoyle's effect? just to get an extra monster in the graveyard. I think we are going to have to do that. Okay, now we can do a discard draw, which is better if we don't draw specifically. Thingy. So we have to discard this. No! I mean, it doesn't make any difference because we couldn't have gotten to this otherwise. Question becomes... I think we still use this. Because that way we guarantee clear the monster. So weaken this down. Oh, do we keep that? Gets us an extra 1,000 damage. Doesn't threaten lethal either way. I think we do. We're going to keep the 0 attack monster just to play around a second heavy metal. Oh wait, no, it doesn't make any difference because it's level 1 anyway. And we're going to... No, it kind of does if we just hold it. Oh, but then we haven't played around anything. I just completely played myself. I specifically left that up and we used that to weaken it to less than 1,000 so we could kill it with Cobalt Kobold. Then I completely convinced myself out of doing that because I was like, well, if we keep Fnatic up, that insulates us from a second heavy metal play. So we like had the play, completely had it all sorted out, then talked myself out of the winning play. Well, I say winning, wouldn't have won the game off it, but now we're going to get completely fucked. There's nothing I can really do about that. Ugh. I don't know how I managed to do this. Literally, like, have the play completely worked out, and then just second guess it so hard we do the exact opposite of what we should be doing. Okay, Esso comes down. I mean, we're probably dead, right? What could we do to survive? Like, we need him to just, like, not have any more boss monsters. That's our win con. Goes for the tuning. This could just be a way to get an extra bit of damage in. There, he has another boss. The fact that he sent that tells me he has another guy to summon, which is probably going to be evasion. Although if he wants to invasion, he has to tribute both of these. Is this better? I feel like there was a better play where you do more damage and still clear the board. Shai comes in with my SM is level 3 now on PC Duel Links. SM. SM. I cannot think what SM is off the top of my head. We're having a brain fart moment. I mean, I guess we go for the Roman pick play, right? Our life points kind of don't matter at this point. We can die from anything. We always take this back. We can get this out nice and easy. We can then tribute over that. I guess that's probably the best play we have. We can also go for this. Right, we'll summon. Activate the effect. Pitch draw. So if we can get heavy metal. That's not heavy metal. We will go ahead and activate the skill. Pop this back in. Which I guess, in retrospect, we should have done before we drew the card, but that's fine. Target this. Tribute over. With a gal. Normal. Activate the effect. Guess we'll just boost this up. I don't think it really makes much of a difference. Tribute over this. And then, yeah, we're going to pay the 1,000. To battle! Ah, don't tell me he's got the widespread now. I mean, even if he has, it doesn't really change anything. Well, that's all we got. 100 life points in a dream with a 1,000 attack monster in attack mode. It's probably not great. SM. Oh, Solomon. Solomon Moto. Right. And what are you climbing with Solomon for? Are you trying to play an Exodia deck? That's a 0 attack monster. So now Hell Tuning Invasion. Discard a card, flip everything up, tribute both, summon out, probably Invasion, although anything does it. Like any boss monster does it. Okay, we'll let him finish us off. We'll let him have his moment. Goes to battle. Swings in. Goes to more damage instead of killing the boss monster. I think overall, I mean, so far the flutes have done nothing, right? I don't think they are helping out too much. Like, they literally haven't done anything yet. A lot of the time we're not even in a situation where we can use them. I also think we want to take these out in favor of some Light Fiends instead. So we will go ahead and put in 3 of these. Just 'cause I think that could come up quite a lot. With that in mind, we can put this back in. That's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boss monsters. That feels about right. Are we still lacking psychics? That's the other concern. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 psychics to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The problem is all the psychic monsters just suck. They're just like not really any worth using. I could go for Dream Drummer. We could also potentially just use Diviner. Let's just throw some Diviners in and see how that works. We'll take 1 Diviner out and can go back to the Karibot strat. See how that works. I think this felt better overall. And now we have more light fiends. That means that we can use our skill on those a bit more often, hopefully. Let's see what our opponent has for us. Right, current win streak 2. Let's see what happens here. Kobo Kobo. So this is just hell shooting, right? This is almost certainly just hell shooting. We've been playing against a lot of hell shooting today. Just an attack mode heavy metal. Come on, give me the punish. I don't even think 1 card off the top does do any kind of punish. I mean, we don't really have a play here, so I guess we just go all in on defense and pass the turn. The issue here is that we do now have 2 level 1 monsters, and they both have decent attack. So, in taking out the goat to better facilitate our skill, we are playing into Hell Tuning Invasion a little bit more, which does kind of suck. There's no way he doesn't use Hell Tuning Invasion if he's playing it here, right? There we go. This is what we expected. Tribute 2, so this has got to be a second. Okay. I'm just going to go for attacks, I guess. Yeah? What if I Widespread Ruin you? We'll take the 18. Nothing we can really do about that. Let's see if we can draw into something useful. That's useful. Okay. So we currently don't have a Fiend engrave. We have no way to get a high level out in Tribute except Prima, which is the one we don't really want to do. feel like there's like no good way to do this. So we will summon... There's like no... There's really just no good way to do this, is there? Right, we'll summon out Fanatic. We'll tribute 1, 2. Then we're going to activate Future Diviner. Which again has done nothing for us. I guess Karibot can just go away. We have no way to do what we want here. I can pop this and get a big guy, but then I have like nothing to follow up with, so there's no point in doing that. So I guess we're better off just doing this. Summon, activate the effect, mill, boost this up. Then we'll just tribute over 2. And we might as well just summon this and use its effect. Sure, we'll just boost itself, why not? Then we'll activate this. Then we are going to activate the skill. And that's because we just put that back in. So I'll pop this back in. I'll pop this back in. Does not matter. Go to battle. We'll swing with this. Okay, you can widespread all you want, buddy. Now, just don't be a 1400 butt. I mean, realistically, he's playing 6 1400 butts. But it still stings. Alright. Goes to the discard draw. Discarded a boss monster, which means he has another one in hand, which is frustrating. He's using Hell Tuning, which means it's got to be... has to be Invasion. So Tribute 2 for Invasion. Has the Shadow Buy. We can stop ourselves from dying here. So our Graveyard is set up for it. This is pointless. You've summoned that for no reason. We take the 12. And we stop this one. Welcome back, Descent of Titans. Probably should have shuffled Fanatic in instead, really. Okay, our turn. Let's see what we get. That's disappointing. Is that 100% lethal through anything? If I weaken this, I can reduce it by 14 to put it down to 9. So I can attack over it. I think that's our only hope. Although we're probably dead. There's almost certainly nothing we can do here. Then we'll set, battle, swing over this. Yeah. Pass. So again, we die to any boss monster now. Just any boss monster is dead. To be fair, he's used an okay amount of them, but I think he's still got plenty left in the tank. 1, 2, 3. He's only used 3, so he has half of them left in the deck. Yeah, there's no way he doesn't have more. Uses the Buyer anyway. Even though this should be lethal through anything anyway, so I don't know why he's bothering to use Buyer. He's just like spitting plates at this point, I think. Tributes 2, and then yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. Oh, it sucks that he had the... I don't think him having the 1400 defense actually mattered. I think it was literally just the widespread. The widespread was the only thing that really impacted that. But again, he's playing like the best deck of the game right now, and we're playing not that. Alright, let's see. Oh, it's Manicist. It's Manicist on the ladder. Let's see what Manicist is on. It's never a Tomato Sauce stream without at least one Manicist game, like, tucked in there. And knowing Manicist, I would expect this to be Thunder. So let's get some board on the go. And then pass the turn. Let's see what you got for us, Manicist. We kind of have everything set up for us to have a big play. It's the Dosodon. I still am not the biggest fan of this personally. Like, I understand the logic. I just think 2 for 1. This does not feel worth. Uses the Blast Jaws. Shuffles back Blast Jaws. There's no reason to not boost itself. Clears the whole board. There's only one attack order where he doesn't clear the whole board. Ah. Yeah, he still just gets used to Destroy. So he does clear the whole board here no matter what. I mean, we are set up for a good play next turn. We just need to hope we draw enough normal summons. And ideally enough attack points. We can pop this. Unfortunately, there's no, like, good way to do this. I guess we just have to do this then. So we'll summon out Gargoyle. Activate its effect. Discard the Prima. We'll go ahead and activate our skill. Put Grima and Descendant back in. Make this 2 tributes. Tribute this to summon. Activate the effect. Pop this. We're going to set just the 1 and leave 1 card in hand. I'm just going to clear this. Then we're just going to pass. We were 1 card shy of being able to get out both of our boss monsters without having to go for a discard. Duckbill was a really good draw off the top. That's such a good draw off the top. Gazelle does nothing! Hahaha! Right, tribute both. Summon out Stormbolt. Stormbolt effect, bring back a 15. I'll bring back a 500. Got another boss monster in hand? You did not draw another Stormbolt. Oh, God. This is just Value City. Manicist has drawn so well. Exactly double... Like, Stormbolt into Duckbill was the absolute perfect combination. Right, we do get to go up to 6 cards this turn. We just need to have a hand that's worth... I mean, I guess that is. So we'll summon out the Currybot. Activate its effect. Grab this back. Then... summon out the Roman pick. Activate its effect. Grab back a Performer. Okay, there's a nice casual +2, which is always quite nice. We have no way to get out a high level to tribute for Rebels Heavy Metal, which does kind of suck. That means we are going to have to do this in a bit of a crap way. And we also don't have a 3rd height. Ah, this all feels crap. Okay. If I reduce that, that'd be what? Minus 14s, that'd be 1,000. We could go up to 4,000. That would only be 3,000 damage. You'd have 17 left. There's nothing we could do off that. Pop one, make a whole board. There's like no good way to do this, so if there's no good way, we will simply do a bad way. Tribute, summon. Normal summon. Activate the effect. Boost this up. Activate our skill. Put this and this back. Target this. Tribute to summon this. Now, there's no reason to not do this. It comes down to, is it worth summoning this? Getting this up to an extra 900 doesn't do anything. I think we do always pay this. How much damage is this currently? So that'd be 38 minus 15 is 23. It's nowhere near lethal. Literally nowhere near. So, we set. Wait a minute. 38 minus 1,000 would be 28. That into there would be an extra 16. Which is still not enough. Yeah, there's no way to have lethal here. So we'll just go straight to battle. We'll swing into this. Oh, he's got a widespread anyway. Ah, he's got the widespread anyway, so nothing even mattered. That's disappointing. We had such like a cool almost lethal line. We could have got him down to 300 if he didn't have widespread. But we were one card shy of being able to kill. And again, he just found widespread in like the top 6 cards of his deck, so there's nothing we can do about that anyway. Unfortunately, both of our back row do nothing, so this is just lethal through anything. Yeah, that's just game. I mean, all things considered, I think we did quite well to get that close. Considering we were playing against a real deck, and our deck is Dudugara, I think all things considered, we did quite well. Yeah, I really don't think this deck is it. I think no matter how you spin it, it just feels really bad. This does feel a lot worse than just the pure psychics, I think. Like, there's like a couple of cute things you can do, but the pure psychics get to do those like exact same things. Like, the only difference is we get to play around Royal Robbers Heavy Metal, but there's 2 other decks that are better at using Heavy Metal than this deck. So it's, I don't know, it's a bit weird. This is unfortunately not a very good hand. I think we're just going to do this. It's a bit sussy, but I think setting 2 monsters passing is the best play we have. We need him to get aggressive. That's what we need. Death Doom Requiem. Okay, that's fine. So he is playing Based Rebels instead of Cringe Rebels. Then he just passes. That's a bit weird, but okay. We have a couple of different things we can do, I suppose. What do we actually want to gain from this? I guess is the next question. So I can summon out 1. I can't get out... I mean, I could get out all 3, arguably, right? We go Tribute 2, use the skill, get another one out, get that out. Blah, blah, blah. But then we just get destroyed by that. Dosodon carried. The extra draw was worried about you having widespread in the end, but I guess not GG. I felt like Dosodon was useless. We were talking about it as we were playing, and it just felt like Dosodon just like -1'd you without like much game. But then again, obviously, you're clearly just testing something, so you're playing like the Thunder Beetles. Still don't really know what we're doing here. We don't have enough cards to like do everything we want to do. Tribute 2 gets this out. We want to use the skill. But I have to do it on that, which means I have to discard that, which means I don't have that. So if that's the line anyway... I think we just play defense and pass, you know. I don't really mind this. I think we're in an okay spot. Like, he has the same issue where his deck doesn't do anything unless we play monsters face up. Like, I can just sit here and wait until he commits big guys to the board. I'm quite happy just to sit here and pass the turn. I will win the deck out war. You have to do something first, my friend. That's fine. Oh no, Roman pick. Let's see what you got. Command. Okay. You gonna get 2 other attacks in? Or are you just gonna attack with command guy? Okay. Uses phaser effect. Bring back another body. Which again doesn't do anything. In fact, wouldn't it have been better to just do it the other way around? Or is this can't be... No, yeah, this is can't be changed ever. This one is can't be changed for the turn. Goes for another command. So this is only working because we passed like 5 turns and he got to draw up to a crap ton of cards. Otherwise, this would be doing literally nothing right now. So he gets the 35 in entirely off the back of a legend card. This just seems really bad. But our deck's garbage. Let's not try and sugarcoat that and like pretend that our deck's like something that it's not. But everything he's doing seems really shit. 1-2 go into that. That doesn't really accomplish anything. Are you going to be playing in Rush Grand Prix Sunday tomorrow? Probably. It depends. I am out on Sunday. And I will be getting home around the time it starts. So I'll probably sign up for it ahead of time. And then if I'm back, I'm back. If I'm not, I'll just get dropped. That's just unfortunately how it's going to go. 1-2 for that. Doesn't really fix any of the outstanding problems. So I guess we will just have to do this. Go ahead and use this. Put this back in, and this back in. Make this 2 tributes. The problem is as well, is if he just has, again, just found the widespread early, we're still just going to, like, fall over. There's nothing we can do against that. Maybe all normal, because if this doesn't kill, we're dead anyway, so... Now, has he found the early widespread? Yeah. Nothing we can do about that. Ugh. It'd be nice if we just didn't have... I don't know, I quite like Dosodon. I don't understand why... Like, if you could explain it to me, Manicus, right? Because Dosodon is a -1. Right? It's not discard draw. It's discard 2, draw 1. So it's just... It is a worse version of Diviner. It is a worse version of Mystic Dealer. It's just worse in every way. So I don't get it. There's a tournament later. It is... Is there a tournament today? Or tournament's on later? I have not heard of a tournament coming on today. Or a tournament that's happening today, I should say. I'm going to be joining the Grand Prix too. Best of luck and hope to see you. Yeah, good luck, buddy. We'll see what we end up playing. I still don't really know what we want to play. I don't like really just playing the same deck every tournament. I like to like mix it up every tournament. But this meta's a little bit... I don't know. I feel like I've played everything in tournaments already. Like, that, you know, that's worth a damn at the very least. Alright, let's see what we draw here. For Rebot. Unfortunately, doesn't really accomplish anything right now. So we're going to come down to what we're against. If we are against Harpies, we might take a lot of damage here. If we're against Thunders, we'll probably be okay. Set 3 monsters. Tribute 2. So it's... What are we on? Like... Legend draw? It's just aggro. It's just Unga Bunga, me Dragius, me Smash. Unfortunately, aggro with Dragius on the board and 3 back row is kind of horrifying. But we'll go ahead and drop this. Then we just have to go defensive again because we haven't found any boss monsters yet. Alright, let's see what he's got. Okay, another monster out. Tributes 2. Is it another Dragius? It's not. It's a Barrel Dragon, which is in some ways just as bad, but he has to get lucky with this one. He does not get lucky, so we are okay. I'm not going to take him damage. And then Tribute to the Doom. So he's playing just every single way he can to just try and get to our life points. That is, this guy's deck is like get to life points the deck. The funny thing is everything that he's used so far, I feel like would be really bad if you're not already ahead. Like, if we had established a board, I feel like he would be in such a bad position. And we still have just not found our actual good boss monsters yet, which is very sad. Oh, I guess we're going to drop the TSA. The issue with this is, he's going to flip over a widespread, and then we're just going to lose anyway. I don't know why we're even playing this deck. This deck is so bad. Oh, there we go. There's the... it's because of my build. So I run more low levels, primarily normal, and I keep bricking on high level, so I dropped a trigger, which that is the standard at this point. I think most people are on 2 triggers and 3 storm bolts. Added more draw with the new spell, which I do like as well. And monster reincarnation, so I can always have the choice of getting either a defense with the new trap whilst not setting. I've drawn so many 5 monster hands, and Dosodon helps me get out of it. I'll send you a link on Discord for that server for the tournament if you'd like. I mean, yeah, sure. Is it the, because the only server I don't really look at the moment is Russia Universe. So if it's a Russia Universe tournament, I already know what that is. Unfortunately, here we just go set 2, and then we'll go battle, and then we'll attack. He'll flip over Widespread Ruin, and then the game will be over. Ooh. What have you got back there that you're not activating, that you cannot use in response to my attack? Very confusing. Thank you for the ping. Oh. How's that working? Evil Family. I haven't seen this one before. I mean, yeah, we'll definitely check this out afterwards. Oh god, it's doing one of those, like... Right, let's just skip all of this for now. Oh, we cannot skip. Alright, let's, There we go, we'll do that. Oh my god. It's making me, like, take a quiz before I can join the server. There we go. Right. Bro, just... let me re-enter my streamer mode so noises stop coming through. Right, turn that back on. Alright, what happened? He summoned out a whole board of boss monsters and put us on 200 life points. That's not ideal, you know. Just Unga Bunga go Unga Bunga, I guess. We're also in a weird predicament where, like, I feel like no hand that we draw actually gets us out of this. But we can't do nothing, so we have to just kind of go for it. Well, that doesn't do anything. I feel like we lose no matter what, so we're just going to quit out of this one. I think that's an alright spot. I think with my deck, I play it the way I think works for me. So when others think my choices are weird, etc., I know I'm playing the way I like that works for me. Variety of the slice of life. I think that's fine. And at the end of the day, if it works for you, you should keep doing it. But at the same time, I think it's hard to explain to someone why Dosodon would ever be good. I think whenever you explain it, people are always still going to say, yeah, but it's just -1Z, right? So even if sometimes it will help you out, I think it's really difficult to justify it, right? And at the end of the day, you don't have to justify it, right? It's entirely on your opponent to accept it or not. That's kind of whatever. Because don't get me wrong as well, I'm a big dinosaur fan. I would love the Dosodon to be good. I just, in my mind, just discarding 2 and gaining 1 most of the time is not going to be particularly good, right? Parker, myself, and I think Sora played in their last Rush tournament. Alright, cool. What kind of, like, turnout do they usually get? We're talking, like kind of 8-man or, like, you know, like 10-man, 20? Usually, if it's a server I haven't heard of, usually it's about, like, 10 people, which is, you know, it's a good number, right? I don't want to, like, try and shit on people for having no tournament attendance. I thought that was my Discord. Yeah, that's my bad. We had to disable streamer mode to go and join this Discord server. But that is going to be it for us for today. We have gone for our 3 hours, which is our usual streaming times. So, with that, we are going to end the stream. We are going to go ahead and raid into Acceleration Gate, which are having a speed tournament going on. So we will be doing that. Most of the time, small monsters are tribute fodder, so it could do something every now and then. That's fine with me. Yeah, I mean, that's, again, completely fine. Well, 16 last... 16 is actually pretty good. I'm quite impressed by that. But, yeah, we're going to raid into Acceleration Gate. We will be back again on Tuesday, where we will be playing something. Chances are we'll probably play either some sort of aggro or thunder, because I do want to try out, I guess Gazelle is the new Thunder card. But we do also want to try out some of the other aggro decks, and we're going to be making a video about aggro at some point as well. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Top it.